Live. And hello and welcome to Hot Dice Codex review. We'll be looking at the Aeldari Codex leaks that have just happened to emerge that everyone's talking about. Luckily, I've done some number crunching, and I have with me Josh Burns. He's coming through on the audio.
Hello.
There he is. So you got me, Josh Townley, and Josh Burns. Hello and welcome to Hot Dice Codex review.
All the
We'll be looking at
Joshes.
the all the Joshes, Josh in Inception, Joshception, Josh squared. Anyway, where are we coming from on this one? Well, I'm the vice captain for Team WTC Wales, and have been waiting for this codex since the index, because I refused to play the index because it was broken, and then it just became boring because you just ended up playing the same 5 units just to survive, and I just wasn't for it. So I thought I'm really excited for this codex. I don't know about you, Josh. What have you seen so far?
Well, I'm just a random person who plays at your club, and but I didn't play the old index, but I am planning to play the new one, and I'm very excited about this book. It makes me feel ways I've never felt before, and
Yeah.
I just can't wait to get my hands on it.
Yeah, me too, me too. Well, we've got it here with us, almost complete. I think the Aeldari detachment is actually missing from this leak, but I figured what we'd do is we'd start with the army rule and break that down. Obviously, it's completely different from the old one, and then we'd go through all the units because I think it's good to understand what the units do, and then hop back into the detachments and then try and do some recall on what those units do. Because
No, that sounds like a good way to do it.
Yeah, because what I've seen is a lot of reviews I've seen from codexes in the past. They start with the detachments, and I've done it myself. And you're going through it, and you're going, okay, and you can't really understand the implication because you haven't looked at the keywords. You haven't seen what the abilities of the units are yet, and it's just, I think you're putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, and keywords are so important in this codex.
Yeah, and that's probably the first thing we're going to look at. So we're looking at the first page here, Josh, the army rule, and it's changed from fate dice to battle focus. So fate dice is gone, and I'm actually quite happy about that because I'm sick
I
of
think
people.
everyone is.
Yeah, because I'm absolutely sick of everyone complaining about it. But if we actually have a look at this, then what does it mean? Battle focus. So it's Azurani models can use the battle focus word, and that's important because Harlequins don't have the Azurani keyword, and neither do any of the Dark Eldar Ynnari allies either. So that's a big hit.
Ah,
Yeah,
I thought that one was all Eldar, but I guess it's just the Anadar. Okay.
yeah, just Craftworld. So that's the first big surprise on this one. So, those little interactions that we're going to look at here, they won't apply to your Death Jester. Death Jester still rocks, but, something to consider. Most of the time we're going to have 4 of these Battle Force tokens because we're playing Strike Force at international level tournament play, um, which means we're going to have access to 4 abilities per round. So it's per battle round we're getting these tokens. Confusingly, they're called Agile Maneuvers rather than just calling them Battle Focus again, Battle Focuses or just whatever. So they will reference agile maneuvers several times in some of the unit profiles. So we'll have to probably end up going back and forth to this page throughout.
Yeah, like battle focus encompasses like the whole thing, and then the agile maneuvers are like
The
the
individual.
different parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is incredible. I've played a game with this codex already because I couldn't wait. And when I got it on the table, it played way different from how I thought it was going to. And I loved it. So these agile maneuvers are basically four, I should say, 4 free stratagems, a battle round. They're situational. They can't be used more than once per phase, if I'm reading this. So each time you trigger a shadow agile maneuver, in the section below, you can spend 1 battle force token to enable the relevant eligible unit to perform an agile maneuver. A unit is eligible to perform an agile maneuver if it has this ability and has not already performed an agile maneuver in the same phase. Unless otherwise stated, you cannot trigger the same agile maneuver more than once per phase. At the end of the battle round, all unspent battle force tokens are lost. So what I found with this mechanic was I ended up with like 2 or 3 even, depending on the detachment, battle tokens just spare. And it,
Well, I will point out, if you do plan it properly, you should have zero because the
yeah,
Swift as the wind one is the only one you can use multiple times.
yeah,
It
okay.
says it in the trigger.
Oh, well, look, that's fantastic. Yeah, and that is amazing. Swift as the wind. Um, add two to move characteristic, and you'll see there's a theme. So, trigger when you go to advance, normal move, or fallback, you add two to the move. You can be modified, as we'll see in other detachments. Then, well, Flittering Shadow. Trigger when an eligible unit from your army is selected to make a normal move, advance, or fallback move, is set up on the battlefield, or declares a charge. Can't fire an Overwatch at it. That is huge for Eldar.
I think that's the best one and is what makes this whole battle focus new army rule uh, just as powerful as it is.
Hmm. I mean, you've got to trigger it before you know they're going to Overwatch, right?
No,
So,
no, because you're the active player, you get to set up your unit and then you trigger it, and then they can't trigger their Overwatch.
what I mean is, you know, you don't know they're going to Overwatch, though. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah, true, true.
that's the issue with this. So you are
But
preemptively spending
you do know,
it.
really.
You can though, yeah. You can though for sure.
Like if I'm putting 10 fire dragons out in front of your tank, I know what you gotta do.
You never know.
You know?
You never know. They might just be like, "Oh fuck it, it's gonna die anyway. I'm gonna kill like two fire dragons. I'm not gonna shoot you." But yeah, I get where you're coming from. Um, the star engines, slightly. I mean, I think the example they gave in the article for this was a bit strange. Um, oh yeah, your fire prism can fly across the field into the enemy's deployment zone and fire at them. I was like, yeah, that seems like insanity, but sure, if that's what you want to do.
I mean, if instead they said, "Oh, your wave serpent can run across the battlefield, get your units out, and they
Mm.
can move, shoot, and charge," then I'd have been like, "Oh my god, that's what this rule is for."
Yeah, that would have been broken as hell. But you're right. For that extra movement to get the units out, that's going to be huge. Things like fire dragons, obviously, where they're going to have that melter range. But it's vehicles, it's all vehicles, so war walkers are eligible as well. So giving that extra little bit of movement. Um, and
Do just a quick question:
no,
Do
please.
Wraith Lords have a vehicle keyword,
No,
or are
they
they
are
monster?
monsters. They are monsters.
That is sad.
It is very sad, believe me. I've come across this many times. Can't tank shock.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. But more about those later because they've got a bit of a change, which I really approve of.
Mm.
But the plus D6 movement as well is just great because you can use all of these, and they're not going to, impede you in doing actions. So if you just need that extra couple of inches to get into a quarter or into the enemy's deployment zone, where you'd have had to have done an advance before, you've got these now, which means you can get in there, do that action. It's gonna help Eldar play that secondary game.
Which the normal detachment didn't really help them do, even though everyone thought it would, because a lot of it wasn't a normal move.
Yeah, yeah, and as you'll see, they are as fragile as ever, if not more fragile now than they were before. And so they're really going to struggle to grind in the midfield and hold those primary points. So the secondary game's got to be strong for this army.
Yeah, I
Um,
totally agree.
yeah. Sudden Strike. Trigger when eligible unit from your army is selected to fight. This is amazing. Have you read this one, Josh?
I have read this. I think it is amazing when it gets used, but you are not using this one every turn. You're using it maybe once or twice in a game.
Yeah, but when you do use it, oh,
Oh, it's so important.
crikey. 6-inch piling on consolidation move. If you get that movement right, I love it.
Like you're tying so much up, or you're just piling to an objective behind a wall somewhere, and you're not getting shot, which is exactly what Eldar wants to do.
Yeah. Opportunities. These last two are very situational because this one is when an enemy unit falls back. So again, it kind of probably goes with sudden strike quite well. So you maybe tagged a few things, or someone wants to pull back to shoot you. You get to make a reactive move, d6 plus 1. gets you out of dodge, basically puts you behind a wall, maybe puts you onto an objective. Who knows? But it's very
I mean,
situational.
it makes your opponent have to think a lot about their own movement.
Mm,
A lot, like not. It's not just the Eldar player taking half an hour to do their moves. It's also the opponent now because they have to think about all these agile maneuvers that can happen in their turn.
mm.
And like you could, if you see the opportunity to really fuck with their plans, it's so powerful.
Yeah, and then the last one, which is great as well, but again, I think it has the same problem as the first one, which I'll talk about in a minute. Fade back when you're shot effectively. When an opponent's finished making a shooting attack, so you've already taken the hits, a unit is eligible to move d6+1. Excluding Titanic, there is that caveat twice here, for obvious reasons, because people
It's
don't.
fuck the Wraith Knight.
Yeah, because fuck the Wraith Knight. I think with the increased fragility of the units, there may be very few opportunities when you are going to be able to fall back with anything that resembles a unit, or you know what I mean. If people get a bead on you,
Um,
you may not have much left. Not
I mean,
always, but
yes, on your very important units, like the things they want to kill in that turn, they will kill
mm,
in one activation, and maybe you'll have a guy left. But it's more about when your smaller units are just taking random pistol fire, right?
mm, yeah,
And so it doesn't die to anything else. They can't use like random pistols to take out an extra unit a turn. And it helps you just keep that unit number up to score primary and in the end game and secondaries.
yeah. It just made me think it's a normal move, so they can't fall back if you shoot them with pistols. But yeah, that's not like, well, why would you? But
Oh,
yeah. So that's the agile maneuvers. So there's 6 of them. They're quite simple. I think after a few games, I'll get into it. I think it's going to take a little bit of work though. So basically, extra movement during the movement phase, no Overwatch, extra movement for vehicles, pile in 6, move d6+1 if the enemy falls back or if you get shot. Simple as that. All very
yeah.
movement heavy.
You're always going to keep. You're always going to want to keep at least one back uh, during your turns, just to make your opponent think,
Yeah.
even if you don't use it.
And I think those agile maneuvers go really well with the first attachment, which I really want to go into, but we said we'd go through the units first. But this is the most
Yes.
important thing. But the war host is my favourite, but we'll go into that later. So, oh, I'm sorry, detachments, goodbye. Here are the
It's.
points. I know, Josh. I know.
Oh, it's so sad.
I know. We'll go back. We'll go back.
We just
The,
went past all the really cool stuff.
I know. I know. These are the points. They're all lies, as we know. They'll be changed almost immediately. I have actually already got revised points. I've had that
Yep, I've
information.
seen the leaks.
Yeah, and they have changed
It's
significantly.
I, in some ways, some have just gone up and down 10 points,
Well, we'll
and
talk
it's
about
not too bad.
well the ones that have gone up. Azumin's gone up a lot, and you'll see why. Avatar's come down quite a bit, nearly 10% drop because he's nowhere near as durable as he was. I was wondering why he was so expensive in the first place. Baharoth's come down 10%. Corsair's come down. D-cannons went up, which I do not understand. So
No one
D-cannons,
likes indirect.
yeah, but I mean, without fate dice, no one's paying.
Yeah,
The new
it's
points
no
cost is
one's using them anymore.
125. Yeah, it's no one's paying 125 points for a one D cannon.
You can't even like. Oh, there's a certain thing. No, I went in. Right. Sorry, it's in units. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. They can do some things, but yeah, let's just get into it. We're getting distracted here. So as we see here, these are the Harlequin units. So you'll notice they've got faction key with Harlequins. They have Eldari, but they do not have Azurani. So they don't get any of the agile maneuvers. So that's
Which is
pretty.
very sad.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, going into this book, it's like you have 3 separate armies,
Hmm,
all in wrapped into one. Kind of some bits from others, but not a lot.
yeah. I mean, if I'm looking at this, comparing it to others, I get what they're doing. They might come back with, you know, other detachments or a codex for Harlequins eventually. But I think what we could actually do is to save us all a little bit of a headache. We could go through the Harlequin units, which are all at the front end of this, and then go back to the detachment because they are they
Yeah.
actually have their own.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got like 5 units, and that'll be all
Exactly.
that wrapped up then.
So I'm just going to the Harlequin units, what they used to be and what they are now. So we have here Skyweavers straight away. Skyweavers. So everyone loved these for their haywire. They've still got them. So they're hitting on threes. They haven't got the reroll, so that's pretty big. But they've otherwise got pretty similar profiles. If I'm having a look at this, Skyweaver used to have 2 shots, still does. 24 hits on threes. Used to be strength 3 on the haywire, still is. AP 1 still is, and it's still 3 damage. You get subtract 1 from the hit roll, whereas before they used to do a mortal when they went over a unit on a 4+. So that's actually better.
Yeah, I think that helps a lot with her durability. Especially, they also have smoke, which is a bit weird, but
Oh yeah, so they do.
which I've
Okay,
on a bike is a bit of a weird one, but and none of the other Harlequin vehicles do.
that's a good
Oh
spot.
no, the Star Weaver does.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But yeah,
Smoke mounted Aeldari. Okay. Apart from that, they got a bit of a glow up. They're better in combat now. So the Zephyr Glaives are now strength 6 instead of strength 5. They got an extra pip AP, so they're AP 2 instead of AP 1.
it's actually pretty important as well. Strength
Mm,
5 is such a bad combat stat,
mm.
especially into the light tanks with T9.
Yep. Well, 6s now. You're
Oh,
wounding
sorry, yeah,
almost everything on 5s. Yeah.
yeah.
And you'll notice the first big change to the book. Shuriken cannons got lethal hits now instead of sustained, which is I way prefer it.
Do
It's
you?
yeah, I actually do. Sustained is fun into certain targets, but lethals just gives you more diversity.
I think it's yeah. It just depends on targets for me. Like you miss the sustained against Marines, I guess, but that's about it. Everything else, lethals is kind of better.
Yeah, it's target process, and that's the theme of this codex. Everything's designed to do one thing, which just makes it feel like old Eldar again. I think you
Yeah,
miss it.
it's very compartmentalized. You know,
Mm.
each have their own little apartments, compartments they live in, and what they do.
So I'm happy with that, but I do think they will miss the reroll 1 wound, reroll 1 save, reroll 1 hit, reroll 1 wound, especially on those haywire cannons. That was a clutch thing for what made them good. So they
Yes, I think you still run them. They've got the Harlequin keyword, but better in combat now. I think it's still a small buff, you know.
they have dropped in points to compensate for that. So we'll see. They have dropped 10 points. But I just think the damage output's way worse. But anyway, apart from that, they're all good. Again, they don't get the access to the keyword. So the Void Weaver, let's have a look at that. Has that changed much? Try and go through this reasonably quickly. Its special rule, I'll read it out for those at home because I can barely read it myself. This unit can be... can be... Oh my god, what the hell does that say?
Uh,
Can
I
be...
think it is 18-inch loan up.
Cannot be selected. Can be selected as the target of a ranged attack if it is models outside. Yes, you're right. It's loan up. 18. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Except it has to be within 18 to fire its guns. So.
Those guns are 24. All of its guns are 24.
Yeah, but yeah, within 24. Sorry, I misspoke. So a Space Marine really only has to move forward 6 inches and then it can shoot it. So not ideal, in my opinion.
No, but you know, it's like if you got all these Harlequins running at you, can you really afford to shoot the Void Weaver?
No, yeah, that's its defenses, its uselessness. Is that what you say?
Yeah, and it also has stealth. I'll give it that. It's a nice one to hit too.
It does have stealth baked in. Well, yeah, you're right actually. Actually, faction has battle focus up here. Is that a Is that a mistype?
I think that's because in the Harlequin detachment, some things may happen.
Um, hmm. They don't gain the Aeldari keyword. It's weird.
Nope.
It might be a
Oh
mess.
no, I think they do get the battle focus even in normal.
If your army factions Aeldari start the battle round, you receive these. Okay. Well, I suppose this.
Because it's when mustering army, you can include Harlequins, even though they do not have the Aeldari keyword.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Faction keyword, unless otherwise stated, you cannot select Harlequins or Yunari as your army faction. So hang on. Have I read that wrong? Did they get access to battle focus?
I think they do.
You must remember you can include Harlequins in your army. Okay, so let's see. Do they other? He doesn't have battle focus. The troop does. So he doesn't get on. Oh, he does. His faction here. Okay, so I take that back. All right, that makes it a bit more interesting.
You can only include very small numbers in a normal Eldar army, and a lot of the stratagems aren't cross-compatible. So it's whether you. And it's also some of the units. There is some crossover with the Harlequin units and the Eldari units
But
in terms of like roles.
oh, I have noticed something. The prismatic cannon is 24 inches here, but it used to be 36.
Um,
So they have done that, which is interesting. So they are. This is very much nowhere to hide with that. Star Weaver.
I'm guessing it also used to enjoy the rerolls a lot more than it enjoys the new battle focus.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's not going to like that at all, is it? At least the Star Weaver's a transport, so that's mandatory. It's firing deck, not interesting. Battle focus again, so it can do that. Disparate paths. I'm guessing that's got something to do with. Oh, was that the faction rule at the beginning? Was that? Yeah, that was. So you're just saying you can include it.
Yeah.
So if I look at the star, what are the differences there? Star Weaver. I'm struggling to find it here in the list of old stuff. Did it have a different name?
I don't think so.
Never. I'm a bit of a purist. I don't like going for all this transport stuff. But yeah, 6. So it's enough for a troop with or without a character, because troops can be still taken in 6. But we'll move on. Troop master. So his ability now. So if we're looking at it, if you want to go through that, Josh, I'll just bring up the old profile.
Yeah, it's while this model is leading a unit each time this model makes a paladin or consolidation move, it can move up to 6 instead of 3, which it has a bit of crossover with battle focus.
Oh, it just gets to do it
But it's
without spending a
important on
token, does it?
Harlequins. Yeah, it's without spending a token. It's important on Harlequins because if you're running full Harlequins, you're going to be charging a lot. Does not need to end to the closest enemy model as well, which is or closest, which gives you a lot of freedom to move around.
Holy crap, that's incredible, isn't it? In addition, it does not need to end a move close to the closest enemy model.
Yeah, you have a lot of freedom of movement with this.
Okay. Yeah, that's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm wondering also if that affects the consolidation where you could just move onto an objective instead of piling into an enemy unit.
So long as you end up close to the unit. So, yeah.
Wow, that's It's big for stealing objectives away.
Jesus, that's I can see so many broken things with that. Oh god. Okay. Each time a model makes a melee attack, reroll hit roll of 1 and add 1 to the wound roll. So that's going to help. Because before all it could do was change a fate dice to a 6 if you wanted once per turn. And while it was leading a unit, models in that unit got dev wounds, which is big. But they
But
don't
not.
need it anymore because
Yes,
they get it baked
but
in.
they've got it all baked in on their melee weapons.
Hmm. In terms of his raw killing power, has he gained anything? Well, he's got devs baked in, as the Harlequins have. He's got an extra attack. He's got 6 instead of 5. He's got strength 4 still, AP 1, and now he's got flat 2, whereas he had 1 damage before, which is just
So
why?
basically, they've doubled his damage output.
Yeah,
And
basically.
he gives himself these buffs as well, so he's rerolling his hits and then he's rerolling his ones to wound.
Yep. I mean,
And
he's
you
sweet.
also get fusion pistols have also become D6 damage now.
Yeah, they were D3, weren't they? Before.
Hmm.
So still got the
Which,
6, still got the 8, still got the AP4. No change there. But okay, the +1 to wound when you've got that strength 6, that's nice.
yeah,
That's
because it if only affects melee attacks.
yeah. But you know he's going into T11 and he's wounding it on 4s.
Yeah, true.
Oh no, sorry, it's strength 4. Not strength 6. 6 attacks, strength 4. The other one's strength 5. Oh, I see. Ah, okay, so he's going to strength 9 and wounding it on 4s. Sorry, if he's going for that stronger melee profile, which I think you always go for because it's got the AP2.
The AP2 is big. You only lose a attack, and you gain a strength as well, which
Hmm.
can help, especially into what you want to target, which is infantry.
Especially when you've got +1 to wound.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. Oh, he's actually does some damage now. I quite like that. That's good. The
he
troops.
is very important for troops.
He is. Hang on, he was 55 points before. What is he now? Troop Master. He's 75, so he has gone up quite a bit.
Which deserved. He has had a big glow up.
Yeah, I think he's actually. You want to take him now.
I think he's mandatory, right?
Hmm.
Like, you wouldn't take a troop without taking him. He adds just so much extra to a troop.
Well, is it worth doubling the cost of the troop though? That's what it all comes down to. So the troops are still. Sorry for darting around. They are still. Oh, they've gone up a bit. It's like 85 instead of 75. I guess the reason for that is they've now got dev wounds baked in, so that makes sense. And there isn't a lot of dev wounds in this codex. I don't know if you noticed that, Josh.
Now, a lot of the dev wounds have gone and bitten the dust because even though you don't have fate dice anymore, you're still not allowed to have nice things.
No, exactly. It's a bit strange because there's very little access to rerolls in the codex, and there's no access to dice manipulation, but they still removed all the dev wounds, which is interesting choice for an army that's supposed to feel like, you know, it can punch up into anything, but then die. But we'll see. We'll see. I think they've just changed its style. I digress. What have they changed? So the Harlequin Blade is 5 attacks. Yes, it was always 5 attacks. It was strength 3, it still is. You're not taking that profile as a general rule, as you have to. The special weapon is strength 4. Sorry, 4 attacks, hitting on 3, strength 4, AP1, 1. Same as before. And the power sword is 5, 3, 4, 2, 1, and has dev wounds. So that's quite
That's
good.
nice.
Yeah.
So basically, it's are both the Harlequin Blade and the Harlequin Special Weapon 4 attacks, or is one 5?
One's 5 and one's 4. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here. The Harlequin special weapon um, is 4 attacks. It's an extra pip of strength, extra pip of AP. So I think you take that every time
Really? I think you would take with more attacks and try and fish.
for the devs.
Hmm.
Mm, Yeah, it's a
You're
good
only
point.
AP1, right?
Well, it depends what their army rule is. If they've got, because what's their rule here? Dance of Death. At the start of the fight phase, select one of the abilities you gain until the end of the phase. So each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll hits one. Probably not going to go for that. I'm waiting for the wound. Yeah, reroll. You can add one to the wound roll. God, you see, they want to take away all those. They just don't want to
Yeah,
give you
yeah.
those devs.
Because it is very annoying
Yeah,
to have devs and rerolls.
and each time you attack this unit, subtract one from the hit roll. So defensive, offensive, and the top one was the
I think
lawnmower.
you do take the strength 4 version then, because you can add 2 to wound on this unit.
Um,
Oh no, because they don't.
they don't
Does
stack.
wounding stack?
That's a
Ah,
model. You do. You can't modify dice roll. No, but you can modify
no,
strength.
1-1.
Yeah,
Sad.
yeah, it is a little bit sad, but it's it's
But you can
interesting.
always get the rerolls. Yeah, but troop message is the same thing as a heart troop, but the troop only gets 1. If you have a troop master, you get both.
Yeah, but it's only for him. It's not for the unit, unfortunately.
Ah, yes, of this model. I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, yeah. So it's not an auto include in that respect, but the wargate ability is the same. Have they changed actually? Assault they used to get on the charge move. Um, if they've charged, they get +1 to wound. Well, they can select that all the time now, which is great.
Yeah.
But they've also got each time the bearer makes normal move, advance, fullback, or charge move, ignore any old vertical distances. Well, that's a little bit situational, but it's there.
When it is in the situation, it's incredibly powerful to just
Well, I
move
know
back
another
6
unit
into a
that has that
building.
ability, and it's amazing. And we'll go into that.
Yes.
Um, my favourite unit is back, but we'll go into Death Jesters. Death Jester, Death Jester, Death Jester. It's basically the same, except now he can't use Fate dice, and he can't also change the dice to 6 because they got rid of that, which makes me very sad.
Yes. It makes him very sad as well.
He's he's still cool.
It's yeah. He's just cool now though.
He's got an extra pip of AP, which does not make up for it. It does not make up for it.
No, but it does make you think you might choose the ignore cover option sometimes.
That's a good point.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. If you, yeah, maybe. He's got the flip belt. The Jester's Blade still as crap as it ever was. If he's in combat, he's usually dead. He's got lone up still, thank God. He's got battle focus. I don't know, extra bit of movement. He's a little lone up guy. Sometimes that could be handy for doing objectives. Death is not enough, same as it was. Test the battle shock, except now they subtract 1 from it, which is really nice. And I think that's huge, and still why I would consider him, because Eldar do not like fight on death.
True. It's like an Overwatch is shooting.
I played into Nathan, one of the Chaos players on TTS, his Chaos Space Marines. I had him by the short curlies. My Harlequins went in, killed one Chaos Legionary squad, going into the second, and then the third, unstoppable hellscape for him. I just went, yeah, these basic bitch legionaries I'm going to fight on death on a 4+. 3 of them fought on death, and they wiped the squad because, yeah,
Yeah.
because they're single wound toughness 3 models.
You're made of paper.
Yeah. Didn't help I was on an objective, but there you go. So I think battle shock manipulation is going to be huge. And I'm going to be looking
I
for it.
know. I think that there's, from what I know of the book, there's not a lot in here, and you can never really rely on it if you don't have enough of it. But
Yeah.
just adding like a little bit in on the off chance, yeah, I get it.
Well, there's someone else who has a very similar ability. It looks quite similar, Morgan Ra, and it might actually be worth taking him for that. But anyway, we digress. Would you take him?
If I was in the Harlequin detachment, yes.
Well, we're going to find out if it's worth doing it in a second. I'm dying to get back to the detachment. Sorry. So Solitaire and then the Spirit Seer, Shadow Seer. Sorry, I love the Shadow Seer model. It used to be a cool thing, and it just died a death when the Index came out because it was crap. It had, I shouldn't say that, but it just gave a unit stealth ability, and it gave the
Which
ability to advance and charge, which is cool.
the advance and charge is nice.
It was, but it meant you couldn't
Um,
put anything else with the unit.
yeah. The problem is you want to put a Shadow Shear and a troop in the
Mm.
same squad. Um, now I feel like she's measurably worse.
That's interesting. So what does she give? Loan up. That's always nice if you're a Harlequin. And melee weapons equipped by the enemy have hazardous. So there's 1 in 6 chance of popping a model that's
Which,
attacking you back.
yeah, but you're a Harlequin squad, right? So if you're getting attacked back,
You're dead anyway.
you're gonna die probably,
Yeah.
or you're gonna be so like crippled that you're not gonna be as effective, and the next one you go into is gonna kill you.
Well,
Um,
you're right though about the lack of advance and charge. I'm thinking the detachment must be strewn with that rule somewhere. But I'm not sure.
it's yeah, it does seem like lone Harlequins running about without a transport are not very fast.
Still moving 8. And let's see what the detachment holds out. I'm itching to get that. I'm itching. But Solitaire, love this. It had a heyday for a while because of the Blitz. Still got it. So it's 2d6 move on advance. Adds 3 to the attack's characteristic. Same as it was.
And
So
it can advance a charge.
a model is eligible to declare charge in so much advanced. Still can. Yeah. It's got fight first still. Yeah. Loan up. Yes. They've added stealth, which is nice. The precision weapon it had is the same profile exactly, so there's no change there, except it's now not got a 3+ invuln, it's got a 4+ invuln. Sad face.
Has gained an extra wound though.
It has gained an extra wound, but I think I'd rather have the 3+ invuln because it's more annoying into those elite. I don't know.
Didn't it just you should just get grenaded and die?
Yeah, true, true.
Like 50-50 chance.
Yeah, okay. I'll concede. I'll concede. But I still, it came clutch, especially with fate dice. So irritating. Let's get into it. Okay, so detachment rule. Harlequin models can make a charge move if they move through enemy models. Oh, when they make a charge move, they can move through enemy models. So that's fucking cool because it means you can't be screened.
Well,
But
yes and no.
yeah,
You screen in the same way you would screen um, jump packs, right?
yeah, you're stopping where they can land.
Yeah,
So you're increasing the charge range, but you're not able to screen it in the traditional sense, I guess.
yeah. You can't have like another unit like 1 inch behind going, haha.
Hmm.
But they're always going to be 1 inch away from your unit, and then you've got your unit's front print and have another unit somewhere behind.
You know what I was
It's
just thinking?
longer charges. You can't really afford to do like 9 rerollables, really.
No, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Do you know what I was just thinking about the flip belts? We play WTC a lot, don't we? We don't really play ITC.
Yeah.
ITC's got this stupid rule, this Games Workshop official rule to be fair, where you can't attack through a wall, right?
Yes.
If you remember that horrible system from yesteryear. So
Yeah, I do.
you
I
could
do.
basically move, but you can still do that at ITC. I think that ability to ignore vertical distances mean you can go up the wall onto the platform above and attack down. So you can't block them out like that.
I mean, you can't block them out anyway, right? If you're 1 inch from a wall, you just move through them.
I mean, if you wanted to charge that unit, normally you have to go around that wall, which
Yeah, but you can when you make a charge move, you move through enemy models. So if they're 1 inch
yeah.
from a wall or 1.1,
Mm.
you can just go to the other side of them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So
Like it's say you have fly when you charge, and you're infantry.
yeah. Hang on. So they gain a battle line, so fine. Um, you can include up to 3 of each of the following death threats. So they must have. Do they have epic hero standard?
Yeah, you can only include one in a Yanni
That's
force.
is that that must be the desperate path
Ex
thing.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
except for the Solitaire, which is always one because it's the Solitaire.
Hmm. Fair enough. And the enhancements, Troop Master only. Each time the bearer's unit enters charge move, select one enemy unit with engagement range, roll a d6, 4 plus, suffer a mortal wound up to 6. Yay! Everyone likes charges with mortals. That's
I mean,
really.
yeah, but you never really like it with this is meant to be a worse version of it, right? Because it's within engagement range and it's also each model. You prefer to have it as like a tank shock type thing. You
Yeah,
touch, you do a certain number.
it doesn't synergize well with the way that the Harlequins want to be run, which is lots of little 5-man squads.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just it's nice if it's cheap, it will be good, you know. But you're never gonna seek it out,
let's
I
see
don't
if I
think.
can find it here. Windrider host. Where the hell? What's it called? This thing? Ghost of the Webway.
Ghost of Webway.
25.
Yeah.
No
If
thanks.
it's not like changed in updates or points, but I would never seek this out as a.
Yeah. Mask of Secrets, Harlequin model only. Each time an enemy unit, excluding monster vehicles, within engagement range of the bearer unit falls back, all models in that enemy unit must take a desperate escape test. If battle shock, subtract 1. I like it.
Um,
It's quite
again,
cool.
like it's fine. Again, like either your Harlequin's gonna kill something and jump back in a transport, or they're gonna be there and get hit back in the face and then not be there. You know.
Yeah, I think it's situational. Well, actually, what am I talking about? It says excluding monsters and vehicles. So my brain immediately went to monster vehicles. I ignored that line because I didn't want to see it. So yeah, uh, it could come in clutch, but again, you're right. You're gonna kill the squad, generally speaking, if there's some of you left. It's.
Yeah, and it's fine. Again, if it's cheap, you might just slap it on for an extra few points, or
Do you want me to find out?
it's
10. It is cheap. That is cheap.
okay.
That is cheap.
You might do it, and it might. You never know. It could. This is just like theory. It could actually be great.
This is amazing. Death Jester, Murder's Jest. Each time the bearer makes an attack that targets a unit below half strength, a successful hit roll scores a crit. Oh, baby.
Yeah, this is wow.
I love
That
it.
one's just like, oh, this unit's half health now, and I can just have a death jester finish it off.
I love it.
It's yeah, it's crazy. It's how many shots?
They got 3, but
6.
sustained 3, right?
Is it sustain 3, not sustain 2?
Used to be sustained. Sustained. It's hard to say, but sustained 3. Yeah, it's sustained 3.
So 12 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just gonna kill whatever's below half strength, basically, if it's an infantry unit.
I love it. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
That's an auto include, I think. How many points was it?
It's gotta be most expensive, right?
Oh my god, 20. I think you do that. I think you do that for one. You've only got one, but yeah. Mistweave Shadow Seer model only while the bearer is leading a unit. The unit has the infiltrator ability. Doesn't synergize with the Shadow Weave very well, does it? Because they've got Lone Op 18.
Yeah, it's if it was on a troop master,
Hmm.
I think it would be good. The problem is you don't really want to take a shadow tier. You want to put troop masters in every single Harlequin unit, and but shadow tier just doesn't seem great at much, to be honest.
No, no, it's fair to say. I think they must have felt that if you can put that on any other character, it would be, you could abuse it.
It is interesting. An infiltrate is always interesting and good to have, like in your list. just to block out other infiltrates.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what's out there. Stage death, any phase, first strat. They are first scan. They're all 1 CP. That's good. So one Harlequin character model from your army is just destroyed. You can use the stratagem. Even though it was destroyed, at the end of the phase, set the model back up on the battlefield, closest possible to where it was. Amazing. With half the starting number of starting wounds, you can only target this once per battle. So,
Insane.
that's
Like,
so cool. It's like you
I
thought
mean,
I only had one solitaire.
second solitaire.
Oh.
It's this is mystery. Like this could be the best stratagem already in this detachment
Yeah, could be the best in the
because
book. Um,
you're running a solitaire. You're running 3 death jesters most probably, or 2 at least, and then you're gonna run what 3 troop masters,
yeah, that's fucking.
and
That's,
then even just to have a lone troop master running around doing like an action somewhere is good to have.
mm. I just okay. I like it. It is what it is. I'm sure there's lots of abuse for that. Solitaire's the first one that springs to mind.
Oh yeah, it's so abusable.
Heroes fall fight phase just after enemy unit is selected to target one Halloween unit that was selected to target one or more of those attacks. It's a fight on death by the looks of it on a Ford. Yep, 4 plus. Fair. Could be big.
I actually don't really like this stratagem too much. Just
Um,
because a lot of our Harlequin rules are on a charge, a lot of our abilities, like they're +1 to wound.
no, that was the old rule. The new rule was
Oh,
they could select that in
okay.
a fight phase.
Okay, I like this a bit more.
Yeah,
4 plus. I actually think I'd prefer this to be a 2 CP and just a fight on death
yeah. Oh, I'm on the wrong one.
as a Harlequin player, because I'm using so little bodies that 3 guys attacking, and then you're really hoping your troop master attacks.
I think it's a get. It's a. I got caught off. I got caught out. You know, with my pants down. Maybe I can get some wounds out, but I don't like it. I don't like fight on death, but there you go. I.
Yeah, I think if this was like the only 2 CP one, and it was just straight up fight on death, no roll, it'd be good.
Hmm, yeah,
But 4 up just makes it too swingy, especially on small units.
yeah. Mocking flight. Your movement phase just after a Harlequin unit falls back. Target the Harlequin unit. At the end of the turn, it's eligible to shoot, declare a charge in the turn in which it fell back. Okay, fine. Fall back and charge. Um,
Not advance and charge though,
yeah,
just fall back.
that's what I was about to say. I don't. I'm not seeing advance so far.
Hmm.
So you are relying on those transports for your movement.
Yeah, you really are. It's gonna be a very hit transport heavy. Yeah, like each Harlequin unit's gonna need a transport,
Mm.
which I can get wave serpents though, which is nice.
Yeah, can they? I haven't looked at the keywords for it.
Yeah.
Opponent's movement phase. Next one, Trickster's Retort. Opponent's movement phase just after enemy unit makes a normal move, advance, fall back. One troop unit within 9. It's a reactive 6, auto 6. I like it.
Amazing. Reactive moves are always good,
Well,
especially 1 CP reactive moves. They should all be 2.
well, yeah, especially 1 CP ones that give you guaranteed 6. They're normally
Yeah,
D6, so that's incredible. You combine that with your,
and
battle maneuvers, agile maneuvers.
yeah, it's also doesn't restrict you getting back into a transport, so
Mm.
it's very good.
Bloody Dance, 1 CP, enter your opponent's charge phase. One Harlequin infantry or mounted. That's the first one that's mentioned those two specifically.
So that'll be troops and your bikes.
Yep, but not vehicles. I'm just trying to see if we've missed a trick here. Yep, that's fine. Anyway, sorry. Within a unit from your army that's within 6 of one or more enemy units would be eligible to declare a charge against one or more. Okay, so if you're eligible and you're within 6 of a unit that's been charged, you can now declare a charge. So this is heroic intervention, or am I missing something?
This is old heroic intervention because it's your opponent's charge phase.
It's the
So if
end
they're
of your
within,
opponent's charge phase.
yes.
Oh, I just
So
read it. Yeah. Heroic intervention is when an opponent declares a charge. This is at the end of
yeah,
your opponent's charge phase. So you can look around. They finished all their charge moves and then decide if you want to do heroic.
yeah, and it's most probably the most tricksy one they have so far,
I love
apart
that.
from reactive move.
Of course,
It's
and it also means you can do another heroic. But again, you're not getting the
yes.
charge bonus, and you don't have fight first anywhere really, except for solitaire.
So you could heroic an assaulter and then do this on someone else as your next heroic, and
Yeah, that heroic with
yeah.
solitaire is great, right? A great threat.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even this with solitaire is like very annoying. So
Yeah.
if they're just sitting on your objective and you've got solitaire sitting within 6 covering the whole thing,
Mm.
um, they're not going to hold that objective, and
There's
then you just score it in your next turn.
there's the first example of picking up the wording really mattering. End of a phase. I love that.
Yes.
Exit stage. End of your opponent's fight phase. One L Harlequin unit from your army, within not within engagement range of one or more enemies. Remove it from the battlefield. That's cool.
I it's good. The only problem is none of the is it just infantry or just any Harlequin
All
unit?
Harlequin units.
Excluding monsters and vehicles though.
Nope.
Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. My bad. Yeah, all Harlequins unit. Problem is a lot of that stuff just doesn't have deep strike.
The the transports must. Do they not have
I
deadly
don't think they have
demise,
deep strike.
stealth, deadly demise? Oh my god, you're right.
So you're kind of limited. I mean, you get to pick when you use it.
Why
It's not
don't?
something you'll use every turn.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's also you've got to survive. But I guess if you've overcommitted to one side of the table, they're not as fast as they should be out of transports.
Yeah, it does let you outmaneuver slower armies very easily.
Hmm.
So you just let them commit to one side and then fully push your way through your maneuver where they're not strong.
So there's nothing here stopping you from taking any of the Azurani models as well.
True. Yeah.
So,
It's just a lot of the strats will not work with is the only thing.
hmm, but there's nothing
But
stopping you.
there's definitely mileage out there to get from just the normal units.
Hmm. So now I want to carry on with the bloody detachments. But we'll just carry on. We'll try and be quicker with the units a little bit. Um, because I think we're getting into the Inari. I don't have the Inari detachment, but a quick.
Should we skip Unari then?
I think we can do that in a future video, maybe. But a quick glance over the Incarn looks absolutely awesome. Why not? I think that's what people are interested in. Let's have a look. The Incarn.
Has lost half damage for a heal, right? And its teleport has been nerfed a bit to just be
I'm just having a look here.
opponent's turn.
So it's still got the same stat profile. I'm having a look. It's ranged weapons, ignore cover, psychic torrent, d6 plus 3, strength 7, AP1. I think that's AP1. It's hard to tell. It's a squiggle though, so maybe.
Yeah, I think it's there is a squiggle. It's AP something.
I think it's. I think it's better. I think it's a 3 or a 2. That's got better flamer. The weapon is what's that? 10 to. Is that a 4 instead of a
I
6?
think it's a 6.
It's got to be a 6, a 4 and a 1. Void, the strike is 5 to 12, 4d6 plus 1. That hasn't changed. Deadly Demise, yes. It's gained Deep Strike. It didn't have Deep Strike before.
Oh, okay. That is actually nice.
It's got Battle Focus, so it can do all the shenanigans. So actually, if someone falls back from this thing, that could actually be quite annoying. Can't go into combat though, I guess. If you shoot it, it can move. Was that infantry only?
No, that's everything except Titan.
Yeah, so
Titanic.
that's quite cool. Quite annoying.
And then you kill a unit and it just teleports.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So, in each of your opponent's turns, if this model is on the battlefield, when another friendly Eldari unit is destroyed, so yeah, it's only in your opponent's turns. So you
Yeah,
have a
they
lot less
cut down
control.
the shenanigans on this down a lot.
Yeah,
Thank God.
yeah, yeah. It's gone down quite a lot in points as well.
I mean, it lets you price stuff a lot better. When something is so flexible as it was, like you're not paying a premium you should be paying for it for the stats, for flexibility, and what it can do.
Yeah, it's dropped 100 points. It's 350 down to
Wow.
250. So
It has lost a lot. Yeah.
I still think it's good though.
I mean, it's lost its half damage for a D3 heal if it kills something.
Which is not as good.
No.
Although you could
Like,
be a cheeky little bugger, go and kill like a 10-man guard squad. And well, it's
I
only
don't think you're killing a 10-man guard squad.
no, you're
Not if
not.
it was
You've only got
sweep.
10 attacks. Yeah.
You can kill, like, he's not even killing a 5-man Space Marine squad.
No, you can't.
I don't know.
It's the same
What'd you
damage
kill?
profile.
Did you
It's
kill
just
a Rhino?
you kill a rhino. Let's give it the old dice test. Obviously, you hit on twos. You should drop one if you get unlucky, and then you're wounding on threes. You should drop one if you're lucky, so we'll swing back and we should average 3. You're not getting a save, it's d6 plus 1, averaging 11. Yes, you should kill a rhino, but
Wait, isn't it? Oh, it's AP4. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, it's something.
Yeah, 250 points to kill a rhino. Hey.
And then you heal, and then you
That's all you
die.
care about, Josh, is can it kill a rhino, though? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the gold standard
Yeah.
of is a unit good or not.
Well, it's an important one because transports are so good in 40k. Like, if you can't reliably kill a rhino, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's just so much. Like a rhino, when I say can you kill a rhino, I mean, can you just kill the transports that are T9 in the game?
I know what you mean. We're getting lost in here because I know the Vizarx had a big glow up.
Has he had a glow up,
Oh,
or
that's
has he
my
just.
opinion because he's got models in the unit get fight first, so you can give Incubi fight first, which is quite nice. Otherwise, the rest of the units are shit and don't really benefit from it, but except himself, obviously he's going to give himself that. While he's in the unit, other characters get focus feel no pain,
Okay.
which is okay, fine. If he's with Urain, probably not. But it's his abilities. If I'm right in saying this, he does have a flat 3 damage, 2 damage 6, and a 1 sustain, dev wound, precision. It's anti-epic hero 2 plus precision. Oh, I thought I read that with dev wounds. Okay.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good, Josh. I would
Oh.
agree with you on that point.
But still, anti-epic hero 2 plus, you're running into Angron. Unfortunately, you've only got 4 attacks. Get some, and just yeah, it's
I
silly.
mean, the problem I have with this, I'll go through it. So the Fight's first ability is it's not going on. Like you
He
say
always can
Incubi,
be.
but that's the best unit he can go into, and it's not great at
It's
combat.
it's not, is it? But
But 4+ feel no pain for characters will never work unless they're precisioning out your characters. And then his anti-epic hero stance is it's AP4, but it's only damage 3, and they usually have a 4-up input on heroes.
yeah, usually, yeah, for sure. That's why I think it's just there's a lot of excitement
It's
about
just
that anti-epic hero 2 plus. I think that got people excited.
also, didn't his sustained hit 2 stance used to be damage 2?
Yes, because it was an ability, so it triggered off his. He used to have 5 attacks, strength 5, AP4, 2 damage. So
And now it's strength 4, AP1, 1 damage?
well, he's still got the 6
Man,
attacks, AP strength 5. Yeah, with the sustained. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Okay,
he is a lot worse than he was, I think.
okay.
From a units he can go in, and just from his abilities
How much
is
is he? He's the
yeah.
same. Games Workshop thinks he's just as good.
Well, they can't get everything right in this big book.
Like, we are skipping over your brain, I insist. Right.
Okay,
And the Dark
I don't like
Eldar
her
stuff.
either.
Right.
Okay, yeah, screw
Okay.
them. They're just the same as the other Dark Eldar
Yeah,
with
it's
a
fine.
few abilities different.
I'm not interested.
They're not
We'll come
great.
back because we haven't got the detachment. We can come back and do that. The Avatar Kane, he's been hurt with a bit of a nerf bat, to say the least, I think. But probably rightly so because everyone just hated him. They barely
I
dropped him
mean,
any points, 15 points. And the reason I say that is because, and the only reason I say it really, is because he's gone from T12 to T11 and he's the same points, almost.
it's not just that. He lost Fate Dice, which was huge on him.
It was, especially for that sustained hits.
Yeah. He lost Fortune, which doesn't really exist anymore.
No.
And he lost the toughness. So he's just getting wounded more. So he's basically you're plus two wound against the Avatar Kane.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't understand why they've kept his points on equal pegging, to be honest with you.
I don't think he's that good. And I think you'd only take him for two reasons. One, you just like him.
Yeah.
And you're in the aspect detachment, which helps him a little bit.
It gives him those rerolls. It gives him the flat 8 damage on one of his attacks, or some of his attacks. But yeah.
Yeah. And the other is at some point Fire Dragons go up in points and he's your anti-tank.
Some point, yeah, they will go up in points. So what are his rules? Deadly Demise D3 hasn't changed. He's got battle focus now, so he's got that ability to get the extra move, which might help him. Unless that only applies to
But
infantry.
yeah,
Let me just double check that. Whoop.
no, it just excludes Titanic.
Excludes. Actually, this one doesn't exclude anything.
Over +2 move.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This one only applies to vehicles. He's a monster, which is disappointing. The piling, not really going to help because it's a single model. Consolidation could be awesome. Yeah, if you shoot him, like,
I feel like his bloody hands ability has got a little less value now
let's see.
because of battle focus making you faster.
Um, yes and no. It's always nice to have that. In general, including himself, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, it does help him, but yeah,
you're right.
it's
You're right. But
when's
that's
he going to be within 6 inches of another unit that's can move a lot faster than him to give it +1 to a charge? And I
that's.
don't think you're really advancing Eldari too much because they can't charge after they advance
I think that's the nut you've
in
got.
a lot of these.
It's the nut you've got to crack, isn't it? It's like how do you
Yeah,
solve that problem? I'm of the opinion. I
he's fine. He
don't.
can be fixed with points.
I think Games Workshop look at this and go, he's gained a lot with battle focus. And it matches the rest of the army. The rest of the army, none of it's as durable as it was. None of it punches as hard as it did, but it's got more tricks, that's my personal opinion of the Codex so far.
That's fair, yeah.
I think it's targeted. So that leads us on to the Farseers, and you made a very good point about Fortune. So how have Farseers changed, Josh?
Oh, the humble Farseer, how you'd fallen.
Yeah, I know. Uh, well,
The, you know, the frontline man of the book, the leader of the Eldar, has fallen from grace, and now he can give units a modified roll of 6 in Guardians and Storm Guardians, and I think Warlock Conclaves as well, but that doesn't really matter too much because they auto hit. But you can join support weapons to these guardians, but you're not allowed to give it to a support weapon.
Yeah,
So
it's just like, why? I mean, the only thing I can think of is, well, a support weapon doesn't include the platform, I guess. That's one thing. So the bright lance that's attached to it. Or if you're taking Storm Guardians, you've got melters in there as well. So you can change the hit roll, a wound roll, or a damage roll to a 6. So that could come in clutch. But what you really want is it to get you the Dev Wounds back on your D cannons again.
yeah. And
uh,
also, you never really want to be in a place where your Storm Guardians are using their melters if they've got a Farseer in it, right?
I don't know. It's a new codex, Josh.
And then instead of Fortune, she has gained Guide, which I think has also got a bit worse. I think is it a +1 to hit? I can't read. Yeah, add 1 to your hit roll.
Oh, it's so much worse than
Um,
re-rolling. I'm so sad about it. They've just
it,
taken away all of the re-rolls from this codex. You,
yes,
you,
and the problem with this guide is one, it doesn't affect good units, and two, a lot of the detachments help, especially in the Guardian detachment, is the same rule,
and
and so it's just overlapping rules, and it
and
doesn't really
yeah.
mesh together well.
And what's really strange about it is they've given the ability to these Farseers, the ability that is the reason no one ever took Eldrad, which was it has to be a goddamn visible enemy unit.
Ah,
So at the end of your movement phase, select one enemy unit within 18 and visible to this model. Until the start of your next command phase, each time a friendly Aeldari model attacks that targeted unit, you may add one to the hit roll. Now, adding one to the hit roll is great if you've also got one rerolls baked in, because then you can fish, right? But if you don't, it's not. It's I just don't find it to be as valuable. The
you're also
Skyrunner.
using this on Guardians and Storm Guardians, and maybe a support platform.
Well, no, it's your whole army gets +1 into it.
Oh,
So
oh, I see.
it's a bit more
Right.
all-encompassing. So it's less targeted in terms of your unit gets rerolls.
Yeah.
So it has got that value, and I do think this army, when I've been writing lists, it's turned into a death by 1,000 cuts kind of army, which is my favorite type of army. So that could matter. Um, but again, I just wish it came with some rerolls elsewhere in the codex, and it's the same for the Skyrunner. So it's visible, it's within 18, but it's subtract 1 from rune rolls for that for each unit that can only be selected. Hang on, sorry.
I do think this has a bit more value to it. The Misfortune instead of Fortune.
Misfortune,
Like it's not as good as Fortune. It's a lot worse than Fortune. But
way worse.
it's still useful if you get to use it.
If there's a Death Star unit running around,
Or
it's
a big tank.
yeah, or something that's 300 points plus. It could be pretty nice to just go. Here you go, have -1 to wound.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where it's going to go necessarily, but you're
No.
covering your bases.
It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. But anything we've missed out of here? Psyker mounted in this case. Both Eldari. They've got the Azurani keyword. Eldritch Storm. Has that changed anything?
Still it's still fine as well, Eldritch Storm.
It's just wish it was a torrent, but it's still not a torrent. So hits on 3s, which is always disappointing, especially when you got D6 shots and you have to roll to hit. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Well, if you're using with Guide Farseer, you can hit on twos.
Get some! Yeah, amazing. It's a great combo when you're putting in with warlocks that have torrent disruptor flamers. But yeah, anyway,
Hell yeah.
God's sake. Anyway, make it torrent gazer shot. Stop being a bitch. So, sinking spears is still disappointing. I remember back in 5th when they were like strength 9.
Oh yeah, the Witchblades and Senior Spears, I look at them now and I cry a little bit inside every time.
They're so annoying.
Like, there used to be an actual, like, okay shooting unit and a generally good combat unit with the Farseer and Warlocks, and
Yeah,
now they're nothing.
it's so disappointing. I get it, but they've only got 2 attacks. It'd just be nice if if one of those attacks went through, it gave you a kill, a guaranteed Space Marine kill. You
Yeah,
could,
just give it an extra like, just give 1 AP to the Witchblade. Make it something.
yeah, it's bloody stupid. But anyway, I guess they're not warriors, the spiritual guardians or whatever, guardians or whatever. But they always. So anyway, less said about it, the better. We got to move on. Autarchs. They tried to give these guys some playability in one of the detachments, I think. Um, the biggest change for me on these is huge, which is what everyone's always been asking for. Is I want them to join Aspect Warriors, and now they can join Aspect Warriors. So
Which I think is, wow, it's just amazing. Actually,
it's
it
cool.
gives. I don't even think it's cool. I think it's just generally good.
It's just a good move because it's thematic. It means you're more likely to take them. It fits in with what you might want to do. They've actually thought ahead. Look at this aspect training. If this model's leading Howling Banshees, it gains the Fight First ability. If it's leading Striking Scorpions, it gains the Infiltrating Scout 7 ability, so it doesn't steal the ability from the squad it joins.
Yes,
Incredible.
it's great.
They've actually
It's
thought about it.
And it's not just like, oh, you give it a Howling Banshee and stick it in a Striking Scorpion so it has fights first or something
Mm,
weird.
mm. Yeah, some gamey crap like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, this is this, this is this. You don't have much options to do too much customization. You have a little bit, but
Yeah,
it's nice.
I like
It's
it.
thought out.
Doesn't need any more introduction. Obviously, it's a slightly different one now. So it's leading a unit. It can re-roll the advanced rolls, which is great if it's used with Howling Banshees because they can advance and charge. And you can re-roll the dice made for any of your agile maneuvers, which is also great.
Yep,
Um,
two good abilities, especially with Howling Banshees. I think this is where he kind of wants to go as well.
I agree.
He seems to just combo with them a bit more.
Yep. He gets that Banshee blade, which we'll talk about that in a bit. Amazing. Banshees have had a massive glow up, and I love it. They're not broken, but they can actually kill Marines now. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. And once per battle round, you can use this ability, reduce the CP cost by 1. So they've got that boon. Um,
I actually think this is why you use him and why you take him.
yeah, because now he can actually join the Aspect Warrior unit. You can use the free strat on the Aspect unit that you want to use it on, and not the Guardian unit.
And I think Eldar are going to live and die by their CP usage.
Hmm.
That and the battle focus is going to be really important.
Yeah, it's just no room. Um, Absolutely no room for any error here. We did get a super chat here, by the way, from Notorious Nurgle. He's just wondering what the weaknesses. He wants to know how to how to counter them. We'll get to that, Rich, as we go through it. I think that'll be a good summary at the end. But so far, I don't know if you've got any conclusions on that.
Um, Off the top of my head, quickly is Torrent Overwatch. They're not going to be able to stop Overwatch on everyone.
No.
Um, Fight on Death, just generally being a bit tankier
Yeah.
and have some guys surviving and do some damage back.
I think Fight or Death and Castling.
Yeah, I think with Eldar, I haven't played any games with them, haven't played any games against them. You kind of want to form like in a corner and slowly approach out and just make sure they never score any primary.
Yeah, it's simple. They want to dance around. They want to. The way I always played Eldar competitively when I was doing quite well at ITC level, I think I was fourth in the UK for a while, but I hadn't even played all my qualifying games. Was I just went right? Half of my my entire army is going to go into half of your army, and then that was it.
That's the game.
That's the
It's
game.
over.
That's the game. You go. Okay, I'm going to feign over here, and then I'm going to feed you some crap, and then 90% of my entire army is going into 1/3 or half of your army, and I'm going to kill it.
Yeah.
And then
And
it's just piecemeal, and I'm scrolling by at the
heroics
end.
are going to be important as well.
Oh, heroics, massive, yeah. Fight
Just
first.
any stratagems you can use to just screw with the Eldars in and out, hit and run tactics is just good.
Indirect king, it obviously always has been.
Yeah.
And anything with deep strike and uppy downy, because they just can't handle uppy downy, because they need to be the fastest thing on the table.
Yeah, and there is still no deep strike denial here in the book, which I
Yeah,
like. It still gives them a weakness.
a huge weakness, actually. I didn't pick up on that. I was hoping I was going to find a 12-inch denial bubble somewhere. Bit disappointing if it isn't in here, because that is a huge problem. Once you start to lose pieces, you can't keep that screen up forever, you know?
Yeah, no, it is a big deal.
Mm. Oh, Autark Wayleaper. So, what used to be an auto include, and used to be, what was he, 140 points? 100? No, 125 points,
That's
I think
with
it
the
was.
Phoenix Gem because that's all you ever give him.
Yeah, exactly. Where is he? Autark is now 75 points, and Wayleaper's 8. He's only 5 points more.
Yeah,
85.
and
There's a good reason for that.
yeah, because he can join the Swooping Hawks and Watt Spiders. He's very similar to the normal Autark.
But
Um,
he's lost
but
Lone Up
he has lost Lone Up,
and
and
doesn't get you a
he
CP.
can. Oh yeah, he doesn't give you a CP anymore.
So I
But he
expect
has the Commander ability instead.
he does, and he has the agile maneuvers that you can do for free. Or on a 3+ you gain 1 battle force token back. So okay, um, it's all right. I can see why he's only 5 points more, because he's not losing Lone Op's insane.
I mean, yeah, he is just a captain now. He is nothing special anymore.
No,
Joining Watt Spiders and Swooping Hawks is most probably some of the worst ones you can join.
I don't know why you'd join Swooping Hawks with him, unless there's a strat you want to be using on the Swooping Hawks every turn.
Yeah, that would be the only reason. Unless you've got a strat to use on your Watt Spiders or your Swooping Hawks. I think it's Watt Spiders are a bit more because you get a bit of combat in the Watt Spiders and then
Agreed, yeah.
use them to
I was just
add
thinking that.
additive to that. But
Because we haven't discussed that with the Banshee Blade is incredible. And this guy gets 5 attacks with it compared to a Banshee. We'll cover it in a bit, but they only get 2 attacks. And there's a reason for that. Anti-infantry 3+ with flat 2 damage now. They've lost AP, which is a big deal, but I fucking good trade for 2 damage.
yeah. But wouldn't you take the Starglaive over Bounty Blade with this guy? With both of them?
Where it depends where he's going to go. So the Starglaive, yes, in the sense that it's only got 1 less attack. It's got 2 more strength. It's got extra AP. It's got the extra damage. So you're thinking that's going to be more diverse into more, better into more diverse units. But if you're simply looking, let's just go back a little bit. You're simply looking at this Autark into a Banshee unit.
No, yeah. Because
Uh,
they're only going to go into one target.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You're not putting Banshees into Terminators because they're just going to get. You need 2 attacks to go through into every Terminator. And
I mean, this guy can kill what a Terminator
a Terminator
on
himself.
on average-ish.
Yep.
Yeah,
I suppose
yeah,
it's bad trade.
yeah.
At least it hits on 2s now. So I think it used to hit on 3s before, and it used to be strength
Yeah,
5. I think.
it is useful now
Yeah.
instead of being just something you like. There's at least a decision here with the weapons.
So let's have a look at the rest of it. I want to jump into the into the aspects, but I think we've got the Phoenix Lords first.
But yeah, the Phoenix Lords are
Yeah, Eldred Ulthuan.
also.
For me, I think people are going to be trying to get this guy into every list because of the CP. That's so what's he got? He's
Yep.
got Leader, Battle Focus, Diviner of Fortune, so you get a CP at the start of your command phase. Doom, Psychic Ability, end of your movement phase. This is important here. They aren't in the command phase, so it is the end of the movement phase. Select an enemy unit visible within 18. Each time a friendly Aeldari model makes an attack, add one to the wound roll. So it's the same as before, but at least you get a CP now.
I actually, the CP in Eldar is so important, and they've lived with it for so long that I think a lot of people are gonna squeeze them into lists.
I think
It's also you can join Warlock Conclaves, Guardians, and Storm Guardians, so they're not the best units.
no. I think you might be tempted to Storm Guardian him, stick your home, and then move away from it and stay behind your army. If your army's moving, you're moving with the army potentially. You could try and
Yeah,
swing.
you could also just leave them on their own if they haven't got too much deep strike and reach.
Maybe, yeah. The problem is, again, you need to be visible. You need to be within 18, so he needs to be where the action is.
And joining Warlocks, I actually don't think is a bad idea.
Hmm.
Because they can get quite hitty,
Oh well,
and then
I'll show you my a list I was writing. Every list I've written has 4 warlocks in it, a conclave.
yeah, it can get very hitty, and I think you will find a lot of home in Warlock conclaves
Mm. We'll
because they
see.
actually tank some up as well. Like
He's
they
always been
just buff
T4.
each other.
Oh,
No,
you
I
mean
mean ability wise.
no? It's stacked to 2, but I think we'll come back to that. I think when we get the chance, because we'll
Yeah.
talk about that when we get to warlocks. Azuman, man of the hour, he's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
You
The
want to
problem is,
explain why, Josh?
it- you don't think so, I'm sure, but we've just
Oh no, I totally agree with you.
yeah. But his only problem is, and it's the same problem he's always had, he's attached to the worst unit in the Codex. But anyway,
Yep,
it's,
still is.
it still is. I just really wanted them to fix Dire Avengers, and they just don't seem to want to do it. But anyway, what's happened? Well, he's got the same stat line. Move 7, 3, 2 plus save. He's not got the. Oh, sorry, he's lost 3 plus invuln. That's huge, to be fair. But what he's lost in defense, he's gained in offense. So he gives the unit he's with move, shoot, move. So that's amazing. If only his unit was any good.
I think the only reason you attach him to a unit is because this ability procs while he's leading a unit.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only reason.
Like if if the line while this model's leading a unit wasn't there, I don't think you would have him in a unit,
It,
and he would just be
it's a
moving 6
75-point
inches.
tax. 75-point tax. Simple as
Yeah,
that. Because it's his Hand of Ezraman, that makes him good. Once per battle, you get a one-time pop-off. Your Bloody Twins, of which have 6 attacks with this pistol, gain has damage characteristic of 3, so it goes up in damage. It gets anti-infantry 3 plus and dev wounds. So you're just killing Terminators for days, basically.
and there are quite a lot of abilities you're going to stack on this when
Mm-hmm.
he's popping off to make him pop off even harder and make that one turn ability just win you a side of the board.
Yeah, and I think this is where we start getting to nitty gritty, Josh, where it's like you have to sequence these attacks, combine them with all the other units, and suddenly they start to work. And I like that they've done that. In
Yeah,
isolation, okay. In combination with other units and other abilities, epic.
yeah, maybe too good.
Maybe. But I still think you're paying 200 points for this model. Actually, you're paying more because he's gone up to 100 and how many points has he gone up to?
135, I think it is now.
Okay, and then Dire Rangers are 75, so you're paying 100, 110, right?
Yeah, 210.
210, sorry, 210. 210 points for that one turn, basically.
Yeah, but it's a good turn.
It can be, but I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got other things. He's great in melee still. 6 attack, strength 6, AP3, 3 damage flat. So he's even if don't wipe out the Terminators or the possessed or whatever it might be, or the 8 bound in the shooting, you can go in and finish most of it off in combat as well.
And you hope he finishes them off because the Dire Avengers ain't helping.
Because he will die as well. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're so crap, and he's got worse defense profile that you're just not going to last. It's
You look at him and you think, how did your shrine become this pitiful?
what? Games Workshop, what have you done? Anyway, let's not get into it. I honestly thought they were going to make Dire Avengers Battle Line or something, this Codex. But
Yeah, at some point they kind of just have to
yeah.
because they're too based off Guardians to be any good.
Mm, anyway, they used to make their guns epic. That's what made them good. And anyway, so Baharoth, I love Baharoth. I think he's fucking.
I
I think
I do like Baharoth. I like all the Phoenix Lords actually.
yeah. Well, I'll cover the rules and then you tell me what you think. Deep Strike, of course. Battle Focus, done. Now Cloud Strike. My copy's very blurry, so I'm finding it quite difficult to read this. And there is a very important bit that I'm struggling to read. So while this model's the no, I'm thinking about the actual unit. While this model's leading unit in your opponent's turn, if it's not within engagement range of an enemy unit, you can remove it from the battlefield. Great. In strategic route. In addition, when this model's leading unit, when the unit is set up on the battlefield from Deep Strike, you can use its ability until it can set up anywhere on the battlefield more than 3. We know that'll be retcon to 6. Away from enemy unit. Okay, it's not eligible to charge. Cry of the Wind. Each time this model's set up on the battlefield until the end of the turn, every time it makes a ranged attack, a successful hit is a crit. Now, okay, why did I think that was brilliant? I think it's the Swooping Hawks that I think are brilliant. I think the uppy downy that he brings them to them is also what makes them brilliant. But there are so many strats. So what do you think?
Yes, I think he's surplus to requirements, and I don't think you shouldn't find 100 points to put him into your list because of the strats.
It's the crits.
He like
Yeah.
if he gave his unit crits on 5s, I would take him. But
There's
he
another
just
unit
doesn't.
that does that, as we'll find out.
Yeah. He just doesn't do enough to buff his unit. Apart from the uppy downy, if it was still a 3-inch, I would always take him, I think. And he does help the Hawks quite a bit with the 6-inch because of their ability only being 8-inch range.
Yep.
Where you can't do it out of deep strike like a normal grenade.
And that's a pretty big deal.
It is a pretty big deal. And why I think if you're maybe taking a unit of 10 Hawks, you would find points for him.
Well, I'm going to admit I'm guilty here that the list I've written has 10 Hawks in it with Baharoth because I want to make it work.
Hey Josh, I did the same thing.
Because I'm just like, I just think it's fucking cool. I need to jump to the swoops. I think we need to do them with the unit. It doesn't make sense otherwise, right? But we'll come back for Azumin as well. Look, same page. There you go. This is meant to be. Swooping Hawks, they haven't changed in any real terms, so stat lines are all the same. The weapons are all the same, except now the XR can take a scatter laser. Hawk's Talon's 2 damage. It can take a sun pistol now with the power sword, which is a bit annoying. It can't take the power sword and the Xbox Talon.
I mean, the power sword's not doing much.
I know, but sometimes it's just nice to have.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not there. It's not even an option now.
No.
Not if you want to maximize the shooting, which of course you do. It's just bristling with lethal hits, and for some reason the Hawk's Talon doesn't have assault, which is a bit frustrating. So I think I'd probably go for the Xbox Las Blaster just in case, because I'm only looking for the lethals anyway. Anyway, their ability. What's their ability, Josh?
Once per turn in your movement phase, when this model is set up on the battlefield and ends a normal move, advance, or fall back move, it is very blurry.
It is, but I think it's within 8 and visible to
Within
this
8
unit.
and visible to this unit, roll a d6 for each moving Hawk model in this unit on a 4+. The unit suffers 1 mortal wound to a maximum of 6 mortal wounds.
But the last bit,
Each time this unit uses this ability until the end of a turn, you cannot target this unit with grenades.
which is
Tragic.
that makes me so sad, but I get it. It would.
Yeah.
I
There
mean,
is actually a lot of more restrictions on this grenade pack than I thought.
is that right?
One, it has to be in your movement phase.
Yeah.
So you can't use a fire and fade and use it. And it's only once, so it's not like you can
Once per
keep
turn.
using
Yeah.
it. It's a max till 6, which, fine. And then, I mean, you can use it on advance, which is nice, but as you say, a lot of the Hawk's Talon doesn't have assault, so you could lose out on that if you are using it.
Yeah. You are doing it
And
every turn if they're alive. How they stay alive is a different matter, but yeah. And this is why I think Baharoth has to be a serious consideration because they get to come down, do the grenades, and they get to shoot.
yes,
And hopefully they're doing that in combination with one very particular Phoenix Lord that we'll talk about in a minute. But
I think 5-man units are fine for actions and sometimes to do the grenade thing and, just be general annoyances. And then I also think 10-man units have, at least in theory, have some use and can be made into actual killers with a few combos.
hmm. Yeah, another issue I suppose it says visible again, which I guess fair enough. It'd be a bit broken otherwise. So you are exposing
Yeah.
these guys, but I like it. They've got a little bit of a kill twinge to them. Dire Avengers across the way here. Avenger Surgeon Catapult is Assault 4. BS 4, AP 1, damage 1. I think that's just 18 inches, which makes me very sad.
It is 18, yeah.
Yeah, and because their ability is Blade Storm, if this unit models in this unit, so that would include Azuman, gain sustained while targeting a unit that is within half range. Why is their gun not 24 inches, Games Workshop? Why
Don't
have
worry,
they?
Asmon's is.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
yeah. Why? Why have they not got ignore cover or lethals or something? That means that
I will say the Exarchs in most of these aspect warriors now are really cool because you can pick a lot of different options and
well,
they can all kind of work except for the swooping hawks. That one is the only one I'm like
the
meh
Dire
on.
Avengers haven't changed. So
Yeah, he was cool before. He has 2 guns and just
yeah,
balls.
yeah. Dire Sword lost dev wounds. Common theme. Because everyone was complaining about how OP Dire Avenger Exarchs were in combat.
Yeah.
So
It was just too much
they
fate
just needed
dice
to.
for that 1 damage.
Yeah, just I remember when the Dire Avenger swords, the Exarch sword, used to be instant death because it was just like, lol, you're in combat with this overblown Guardian unit, but the Exarch could instant death at least one of you. I just liked that because it wasn't broken.
Yeah, that's what we all say, right?
No, because it was just like, you may have killed my unit, but I've definitely killed one of your Marines. It was just a little bit of a. I liked it. But anyway, take my toys away.
Literally, the only good thing about this Dire Avenger unit is it gives sustained hits to Asaman.
Well, there is one other thing. You also give Azumin an auto 6 to wound from the
Ah,
aspect shrine.
yes.
So that could come in handy.
I mean, and also 6 to hit.
Oh, isn't it wound as well?
It can
Normally
be a
the.
wound, but you do the
Oh, I see.
6 because then you get sustained.
Yeah, but I just meant after you've popped your clogs for this one, at least you're still getting access to the devs in combat or something. and it's
Yeah,
after
but
the
I can.
roll. The aspect shrine ability is great because it is after the roll.
Yeah, and that's important.
So yeah, you can even change one of those anti-infantry things to you roll a 1 or a 2, and you just go, okay, that's a 6 because actually I want to kill that unit. So
Yeah. I have one turn and I have to use everything and the fridge, kitchen sink here, have it all.
because if one marine lives, I die.
Yeah,
So this is a very busy page. It's the last of the Phoenix Lords. Let's just check. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Fugan. Uh, how would you say this? Lycus?
I would say Lycus. Yeah,
Lycus?
I wouldn't say Lycus like some people have.
Lickers? Lickers like it's hot. Um, he's lost Feel No Pain.
That's
He's
huge. He is
it's
not as tanky as he was.
no. He still gets back up. Add 6 to the range of the weapons. That's good. But would I rather have, given the rules, rest of the rules in the army now? Would I rather have had extra 1 to hit on fire dragons? Yes, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Melter's
that's the only time you're like, +1 to hit might actually have been good.
yeah. Especially with they've lost the reroll to hit as well, and the reroll to wound built in. It's it's all right. I mean, you never really saw many fire dragons.
And now you're going to see him everywhere when
Yeah,
we get to him.
I think so. Where yeah, let's jump straight into it. So they
So
haven't.
yeah, I think Fugan's good. It's just he's not essential.
I've had him in my list originally, and I took him out again.
I think you do take Fugan out. I think a lot of lists will be like start with him and then eventually take him out
Mm-hmm.
because you don't really need to kill that many tanks,
Well,
you
what I
know?
have got, I can bring him on the stream. I was going to do this as we went, but no one's still paying attention. We could. Where's the? Is it this one? Data? That's the right window. I'll just bring it up. I've done some number crunching. So the average damage. So where's the what? Fire dragons here. So we've got combined. This is with the fire pike. Sorry, not lance and the fusion guns. And then this is with Fugan, and then the points difference. So the damage, when you look at that, where are they? Fusion, Fugan. So look at the damage output. This is the
It's
num.
not showing up on the screen.
Oh wait there. Sorry, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, sure. Um, so I've got combined fire dragons. I don't know if you can see my mouse. It's in the
Yeah,
center here, and then combined with Fugan, and this is number of wound. This is damage caused, so not killed. So what we have along the top is guardsmen, sorry, subductors, gene stealers, marines, chosen, boys, berserkers, terminators, thunderwolf cav, aberrant, custodies, dreadnought, scout, sentinel, truck, dreadnought, rhino, the all-important
I'm so
rhino there.
glad you put Thunderwolf Cav in there. Is that just because of me?
No, it's there, it's there. DDA, OOE, whatever that is, Mutilith, Void Beast, Predator, Warlock, blah blah blah, blah so on, so on, so on, so on. So where is the where are the fire dragons? The fire dragons are here, so I'll just highlight that. On their own, they pump out a fair amount of wounds, I would say.
Yeah.
With Fugan, how many wounds does the Catan have? No, well, it doesn't matter.
Uh,
They are crap into a Catan. Just so for the
what
record.
what isn't?
Yeah. Vindicators, they reliably pop on their own. They don't need that. Don't need Fugan for that. I would say this is an aspect detachment, so they are rerolling ones to hit. I've had it. That's the most efficient. And they are in melter range. He does help them kill a Tyrannofex reliably. They don't do that without him. Custodes Dreadnought, they already kill.
Are these units of 5?
Units of 5
Okay.
with melter range. Remember, they got melter 3, which is a huge deal. So you know they're getting the full rerolls into vehicles. That's the thing.
Yeah, and do fire dragons have grenade?
Let me just go back to the screen quick.
So I think
They
that's actually quite important if they have a grenade.
they do. They do.
Then, yeah, I don't. Instead of adding Fugan, you just roll grenade, and then you've
Mm,
basically got the Fugan damage.
yeah. And when you need it, they've got that aspect shrine so they can auto change a wound to a 6 as well into some of those tougher units.
Yeah, like after you roll and reroll.
Yeah. So I'm pretty. I think they're great. Fugan, I'm not sold, to be honest.
Yeah, the problem is like he lost his Feel No Pain, and then because he gets back up, it's kind of like you double dipped into the Feel No Pain,
Hmm.
and now it's kind of like he's twice as worse.
Well, did he actually? Let's have a look at his profile. Did his profile change? I do remember noticing something when they leaked him before that his profile changed slightly.
He
He,
got assault on his beam, and it got sustain 2 instead of sustain D3.
so it's a bit more reliable.
Yeah, and it
Uh,
got a melter, I think, melter 1 on it as well.
he's got assault across both weapons, so just
The thing that angers me most about Fugan actually is that his fire axe is weaker than the Fire Dragon's fire axe.
I didn't notice that. It's 5, 4, and 3. It's 6, 4, yeah, I didn't even pick up on that.
That annoys me no end. I'm just there like, oh, okay, I have Fugan at home. Fugan at home is just the
Yeah.
Exarch who's better.
You know why though, right? Because no one's taking the fire axe on the on the Exarch.
I think if you run Fugan with them, you do.
Do
Because
you?
then they become quite combat-y.
It's 3 attacks.
Well, 9 attacks if you include Fugan of actually good combat attacks.
Hmm. I see.
And
You're a Space Wolf
yeah,
player. You're always thinking about combat, and I'm an Eldar player. I'm always thinking about avoiding it. But yeah, I get I get what you're saying.
well, I'm just saying, if you can combat for me is just an extra movement phase, and if you can get into combat and do some damage and just
Mm.
move somewhere else, like further away from the scary stuff,
Hmm.
and actually do some damage, why not?
I like it. I suppose I'd have to look at them. You know, losing that fire pike's a pretty big deal. But
I mean,
yeah,
if you've added Fugan, like you've basically gained a fire pike as well, right?
yeah. But you're paying a lot
Yeah,
for that extra. What you're saying is really getting a little bit of combat power, which fine. But
I would only do it if I had Fugan in my unit, but
okay.
without him, I
I guess
wouldn't.
the point is, what's better? 2 units of fire dragons or Fugan and a fire dragon unit?
Damn, you and your logic. I mean,
Because 2 units of fire dragon is cheaper than the Fugan fire dragon combo.
but wait, okay. But when fire dragons go up, I may include Fugan instead of the actual unit of fire dragons. Okay, there, we solved it.
Fine. Bullshit. Uh, Lycus. Lycus is absolutely amazing, and it's probably my favorite, even though Asmin's cool, because she buffs your whole army.
This unit is bonkers.
It's bonkers.
Um,
I love it
it
though.
it does so much and so little all at the same time.
Well, I won't bring up the spreadsheet of damage because I can tell you now that warp spiders are dead in shooting. They kill guardsmen quite reliably.
I mean, it's what you want them to do, right?
Yeah. Well, hmm. They could punch up a little bit and put some ablative wounds on things. That was quite nice. Before they
And
can,
also bullshit.
yeah. But now they kill even with this Phoenix Lord. They kill. What do they kill with that? Like 4 Marines. The shooting.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think killing 4 Marines is good. Kill
Yeah.
4 Marines with shooting, you charge Marines, you kill another 4.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's where they come into their own. It's the combat threat. So let's get into that. Sorry. So she's got weird mixed profile, but she's got I think that's Brood Twain or something. Anyway, it's a torrent Ignore cover, twin linked. Twin link flame is always nice. D6 plus 3, strength 6, AP2. Only 1 damage, unfortunately, but still, it's just something that adds to the flames of the warp spiders. There's no devs. That's common across the whole
Well,
unit.
you say it adds to the flames of the water spiders. I don't think it ever adds to the flames of the water spiders, but
It's fine. You know, it just makes the unit a bit more killy.
no, yeah, but you're never targeting the same unit as the water spiders targeting, right?
Well, in your shooting phase, after this model has shot, so the issue with that is she's only range 12. We are getting ahead of
Yeah.
ourselves. Her ability is, after this model is shot, select one unit, well she can only select one, hit by one or more of those attacks until the end of the turn. Each time a friendly Eldari model, so your whole army, targets a unit. Oh, Eldari, not Azurani. So that does apply
Ah,
to Harlequins as well.
and the Unari as
And
well,
the
some of
Yanari
them.
as well. Model makes an attack. You can an unmodified roll of a 5 plus is a crit. So this model actually allows you to kill something with your little, pew pew guns that most of the Eldar are now carrying into heavy. Because I think, from what I've seen so far, Eldar are really going to struggle into Terminator profiles. They've got one or two units that are going to be great, but
Yes.
but
Yeah, no.
well, the example I'm
I,
going to give you is the pressure chaos list, the bile list with 30 possessed marines in it. That is,
I, yeah, like a lot of your units are very specialized, but I
yeah,
feel like the trick to building Eldar is you have all these different units that do different things, and then you just combine them to kind of get over the line.
yeah. And this is one of those units that helps you do that.
I'm not in full agreement with you there.
You don't like this unit.
Oh no, I love her. In theory, she's amazing.
Why did you? Which bit do you disagree with? Actually, I'm really interested about
I disagree with him that she's go jump 24, shoot something within 12. The water spiders go something else within 12 to add different damage somewhere else, and then she's also going to charge something else.
that. No, 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 no. I think she's too she's too valuable in my mind. I don't think you're throwing up the field unless you see an opportunity to take the enemy's home objective. That's fine. I think
I
she's
mean, she is a scalpel, is what she is.
yeah.
Like you never want her to die in the game, but you're charging something that is like, to get you further away, and that you can just kill a random action unit or something.
Or if someone leaves 5 scouts on a home objective, it's quite nice to
Yeah,
take. Yeah, where that matters. But that 5 plus crit is so important. Azerman's sustained hits. Their sweeping hawks lethal hits. The lethal hits and the shuriken cannons on bike units. The list goes on.
just all the sustained on scatter lasers as well. It,
Yeah,
it actually can add up if you want an anti-horde unit.
yeah. My problem with this unit is that it's so fucking valuable.
And so it costs a lot as well. It's like 210-ish points as well for her and the war spiders, because you have to have her with war spiders for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
24-inch.
yeah. You're right. She is. I don't think she's had a points change from this codex, so we can use the codex as a reference quickly.
She's 120 then?
She's 120, but I think she's worth it. 100%. I take her every time. Maybe in the
I,
future I
I,
don't, but for
yeah,
now,
I think as soon as she starts going up, because she will,
hmm.
because everyone's going to take it, because she's new and she does some crazy things that no one else can do in this book. Um,
God,
she'll
God help the
start getting
Eldar
dropped.
player in the mirror match that doesn't take her, because she's great into Eldar. That's all I was
So
thinking.
I'm gonna move 24. You can't overwatch me. I'm gonna shoot this unit dead. I'm gonna shoot another unit dead, and then I'm gonna charge another unit dead.
Your move.
Yeah.
Wow, just incredible. The 5 plus crits. I'm sure it'll come up as we go through it. how good that is. Or maybe we split the video in two because there's so much to get through. But let's have a look. Warp Spiders here. They've lost the devs. They've gained AP. Bad trade, sir. Bad trade. They also got ignore cover. Sorry.
I think it's fine just for the different targets you're going into, right?
Yeah. They've got the
You're just
still.
not shooting them into a tank and taking like 3 wounds off it.
Yeah. So it's a different play style, which is going to take some getting used to. They've dropped a lot of points. They're 85 points instead of 125.
I think yes, but they've gone up 10 in the new
Which
points.
I don't fully agree with, but I get it because if you're taking 3 units of these,
I don't know why you would take 3.
I don't know either, but they're gonna just clear away all of the little
You would take
10-man battle
2, right?
lines. I
One to
take 2.
carry Lycus and then one to action and do
I have
some
2
random
in my
things.
list. I always put. I
Yeah,
try and get the second one always because I don't want to ever put Lycus's unit in danger. And 85 points for me was cheap enough to go and do actions or screen or whatever I needed to do.
yeah.
Um, they've added some weird, overcomplicated nonsense for the Exarch, so they can take one Spinneret rifle and one Deathweaver's. Deathweaver's a 6-inch flamer, but it's got twin linked. The Spinneret rifle is 18 inches, strength 5, AP 1. Like fucking hell, Games Workshop. Now I've got it's going to take me twice as long to shoot this list now. This unit as
Yeah.
it needs to for no net
And
gain,
then
for 0 net
the
gain.
Death Spinner it's like a +1 to wound and maybe an extra AP sometimes for lower or shorter range. Who knows?
Just stop it.
All rolling wounds. But there is one very good loadout
Yeah,
of the Power Blades array
yeah.
where you have weapons on
Oh
your
dear, I
Exarch.
just realised I've had the stats up here the whole time. So yeah, just so people watching at home, got it up here.
Which is 10 attacks, lethal hits, twin linked, strength 4, AP 2, damage 1. Doesn't sound too oppressive on your own, but when you're able to combine it with the Lycus,
Hmm.
either crit 5ing herself or just to add a bit of damage to her combat, because you're trying to do with Lycus when you want to flicker jump, you're trying to do crit 5 something, charge something else, take 2 things out. And this just helps with that. Yeah, it basically puts her over the top.
Hmm.
You know, gives you some margin for error.
I it just helps you clear away that chaff at the back reliably.
Just she's if you're not in aspect warrior, she's not getting a lot of rerolls. You can just roll ones and
Hmm.
or threes or twos.
It's not great.
It's not.
Yeah.
She's not that good in combat.
No, I agree. I think it's been overblown. I mean, people see the 10 attacks on this guy. They go, oh my god, 10 attacks twin link. That's okay, so it's hitting on 3s, no rerolls. So what, 7 go through? And it's strength 4, even with rerolls, what, going into Marines. So what, 5 go through? And it's AP 2. So maybe they save 2. You kill 1.5 Marines. Congratulations. And now you get
But
rifle.
it's
But
that extra marine that helps Lycus kill the other 3.
it could be. But you know what I mean? It's not crazy. But going into say a 10-man cultist squad in the backfield, it reliably picks them up, and then you're not locked down in combat next turn.
Yeah. Like if you're going into a marine squad, you're mostly shooting it and charging it.
Yeah, 100, yeah.
Whereas other smaller chaff units, you're just shooting and then charging a different one.
And the twin link probably helps into the orcs as well a little bit. So if you do the math on that, 7, and then it's going to be third of that. So let's be generous and say 3 with a reroll, maybe 4.
But you're still scared because you're just what if I whiff?
Oh, yeah. Orcs have always been a problem, right, for Eldar?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh no, if 2 of these survive, I'm dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's you don't feel good.
Jenzar, I love Jenzar. Always have. I think she's better now, mainly because
Oh, she's
her
so much better.
she's so much better. Mainly because her squad's also better, but the fact that she's now got 8 attacks is amazing. Anti-infantry 3 plus baked in, flat 2. She hasn't got the strike ability. Fine. Again, that's why I think that's fine because that's forcing you to be as an Eldar player. This unit does this job, and that's quite cool. You've got the baked-in rerolls if it's a character unit, so that's telling you
And
what to
what
do
good unit isn't a character unit?
exactly. But the big, awesome power play with this baby is she auto advances your banshees 6, and they can advance and charge. And of course, they ignore all vertical distances, so it's the same as when we were talking about the Harlequins, about the wall blocking shenanigans. I love her.
Yeah,
Absolutely love her. She's in my list.
yeah. She is good. I think the third best Phoenix Lord out of them all.
Ooh, we haven't ranked them yet. We'll have to do that. We'll do that in
Oh,
another video.
okay.
But yeah.
In my head, I'm like, yeah, she's there. She's like,
Okay.
because she just does something that none of the others do, right?
Yeah,
Like with Phoenix Lords, you're kind of looking for what do they do, add to their units that the units can't do themselves, and she gives them that extra bit of movement without being in a transport, and the reroll to wound is actually quite big on anti-infantry 3 plus. That's when you're really getting
that's
uh,
right.
just consistency.
And let's be frank. Um, she's also 4 extra Howling Banshees because
Yeah,
if you look at the profile, if you're just looking at it from that point of view, Banshees they get 4+ info in combat now, which is great. It's going to help them out, but still, if you're going into volume of attacks, assault intercessors on objectives, they're still going to get completely cooked out, like just die.
I don't know. 4-ups are sometimes where you can just roll 7 out of the 8,
I
and
know, but they've got 4 attacks each, so it's
you,
just
you never want to rely on it. But yeah,
no, it's just you got 4 attacks each on the assault intercessors. Let's say 6 of them go through, and then you're on 3s re-rolling. The 4+ is going to help you because suddenly instead of the squad dying, which it would have done before, that's maybe an exaggeration. You're going to be left with the Exarch.
well, the squad would die before because they would kill nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
why the squad would die before.
well, if you got to take into account like fighting death and stuff like that. It's just a nightmare. These girls do not like fighting death. But anyway, they can advance.
No, but you.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, carry on.
No, please.
I was about to say they can still come out on the other side somewhat with the 4-up invent
It,
against fight on death.
it's a big move. It's a big enhancement for them for sure. But
Yeah.
I think it's the difference between them getting wiped every time and 1 on 2 surviving, which just gives you those extra play pieces that you're gonna need late game. That you always struggle with Eldar potentially.
No, I agree.
Um, so anyway, acrobatics eligible to declare a charge in turn which it advanced or fell back. The reason these girls, sorry, are so good, they've only got 2 attacks. So when I read that, I was like, oh, no way. But they always hit on 2s, which is fantastic. Strength 4, AP 2, I was gutted. Damage 2, I was excited. Anti-infantry 3 plus, I was ecstatic.
It's finished, people.
Yeah, it's done. It's done. These are those units that really benefit from the reroll ones, obviously, from the aspect one. But they don't need it. It's just an all-round good unit. I don't think they even need Jenzar.
No, like I would never use them as a unit of 10 without her. I don't think I would actually use a unit of 10.
No,
But
I was going to say you mad
um,
bastard. They are cheap.
they don't need her, but they can. If you're not running aspect, they can flub. Go into flub territory.
Hmm.
Because
It's very easy to spike those 1s and 2s.
yeah, especially on the wound roll. So that's why you might want to run Jane's R and like if you're not running aspect, just to boost her damage up, and because she's quite good. Um,
I also really
But
like these into the any melee army because the fight first baked in. It's
yes.
just great. Just
Well, it depends on the melee army. Like Marine melee army, sure. But if you're going into cultist melee army with ACDCs and stuff, they're kind of like,
yeah.
oh no, I killed 2 guys and because I feel no pains and such.
Oh yeah,
And
that's the
so
other thing. That actually reminded me of my notes. They do not like feel no pain. They
no,
need to kill. They need to kill what they're hitting.
even like going into 4-up inland Marines, right?
Yeah,
You're not like if you charge a Marine unit and they use armor contempt,
you're in danger.
yeah, they could just spike their 4-ups and then you're in a 4-up war and no one wants to be there.
It's and that's why I really got quite upset about the AP2 because I'm not sure why they didn't just go with the AP3 and just make them a bit more expensive.
Well, that's why you run Jane's R, right? You're running it at like
Well, she's
100-ish.
yeah, she gets you the extra AP there on her weapons. Yes.
Amber rerolls
Hmm.
and the auto advance 6. She does a lot for this unit. She just makes it so it can come out over the side unhurt.
But it's another 200 point block for a 6-man unit with toughness 3. So
Yep,
it's expensive, elite.
there's a theme running here.
There is. And I've noticed this when I'm writing my list. I'm like, yep, that's 200 points for that unit. That's 200 points for that unit. That's 200 points for that unit. I've got a lot of units in my army, but the model count is small.
Mm.
Uh,
It is, yeah, it doesn't, you fill up your points fast.
yeah.
It's why I think a lot of Phoenix Lords will slowly drop out of lists and people will run like 2 max.
I'm going to start with as many as I can and then, yeah, figure out what makes
Yeah,
me tick.
of course. The models are beautiful and
Yeah.
like they're just exciting. But you look at the Eldar book and they're one of the reasons why people play Eldar.
Yeah. I can't. Too right. I mean, I've always played Eldar since I was like 8, so something like bloody hell. How long's that? I dare say 28 years. It's just tragic. So Morgan Ra, anyway, on that morbid note, not who better than the Reaper himself.
I'll just say it now. Morgan Ra's number 5 on the list.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, he's always number 5.
And if Krandros was alive, he would be at number 6. I know it.
I was so keen to have him be good. I was really like, this is your chance, Morgan Ra. You had you got your new model, and then they made you the worst thing in the Codex. This will be
He
your
just
chance.
never is. He never is. The only I've been trying to think of ways to use him, and like you could use him on his own as just like that
Yeah.
extra guy in that wave serpent space you're not using,
Yeah, but then
to come out and shoot.
but just take a Death Jester.
He's a bit stronger than a Death Jester.
Yeah, in combat.
I mean, in combat and in shooting.
But okay, let's see. Death Jester's got loan up. There's one. There's one thing
Yeah.
that helps, and I think that's huge for Eldar. I can't find my bloody. Where's my
But a mortar team's not going to kill Morgan Morale.
Yeah, neither is. No, you're right. That's a very specific example. Well, they're not going to kill a Death Jester either.
Sure.
I don't know where that came from. Sorry. Yeah, I get it. Indirect. Yeah. But he's still toughness 3. 2+ save. Granted. Let's get into his abilities, and then we'll let everyone know why we're saying
There's
this.
no point reading about abilities, Josh.
Yeah, okay. While this model's leading a unit, great. In the shooting phase, after selecting the target for that unit's attacks, if every attack in the targets the same unit, why did they add that? Is what I don't get.
So you can like split his attacks up and do it on
And
multiple
use his
units and
ability.
have abilities like still be bad.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Roll 1d6
Yes.
for the target unit, and 1d6 for every other enemy unit around within 3. And on a 5 plus, the unit being rolled for is struck by an explosive debris. So, there is an important sequencing here. You are targeting the squad, and then you are immediately rolling a dice for every unit around it within 3, including it, on a 5 plus. After you've resolved the attacks, they will take a d3 mortals on a 5 plus. It's a strange sequencing, and I think it's all to do with if you're shooting at a vehicle, transport, that you're not also mortaling the thing that comes out. I think that's why they've
Yeah.
done it like that.
Is this also before they remove models?
Resolving all the attacks the units attacks the target unit. Each
No,
unit
because
struck
you're
by the explosive debris. So you're only able to be struck by the debris when you're targeted, and then you do resolve the attack.
yeah. Okay.
It's a strange way of wording it, but I get why they did it. But it's not such an OP ability.
It's some might say it's barely an ability.
I mean,
I
see,
would prefer +1 to hit, I think.
yeah, for sure. I think if you you get lucky and you find a cluster of 4 units and you roll 4 dice and you get 2 5s because it's your lucky day, then those 2 units are going to take d3, which means they might take a combined 4 mortals between them, and I don't think your opponent's going to care too much. It might be a good way to
No.
get around lone op, to be fair, but it's still, you know, d3 mortals.
It's very unlikely, and also it's just so random.
It's so weird.
You can't pin a plan on this ability because it is just so random of what it will do, and it's also down to your opponent being within 3 inches
Yeah.
of something you've shot, which is very easily avoidable if
It
this
is,
ability
but
was
for
any
some
good.
armies it might not be. I mean, I don't know. If whatever, stupid. The one ability I do like is he hands out battle shocks at -1, so that's all right.
Okay, but again, you have to see the unit you're trying to battle shock.
He's got the dev wounds on his fancy shuriken cannon. Um, but again, no rerolls. He's all right in combat. Like all of them are really.
I think if his gun was AP3, I would like him a lot more. AP3 ignore cover is actually, real damage.
Yeah, reliable damage as well.
Reliable damage, yeah. It's just, I
Yeah.
don't know, I don't see it.
No, I don't either. The Dark Reapers, then they haven't changed. I don't think they've not
Oh,
got. Oh wait, that's not
they
true.
have.
They have.
Their Reaper launcher has got a big glow up.
Hang on, let's have a look at this. Sorry about that, Josh. I jumped ahead of myself there. Let's compare them. It's trying to get you to take Morgan Ra.
You
So,
just take 10 Reapers.
oh, I'm still on Fugan. So, if you've got their stats on you, you can get them out. I'm just trying to get it to load for me. It's been a bit stubborn.
Oh, okay. Let me see. You mean that old stats, yeah?
Yeah, I just wanted to do a compare and contrast because you're right.
So, the big shot is 8-2-2.
Oh, okay, so now it's 10-2-3.
Yep. And then my small shot is 5-1-1.
Oh, okay. So they're still good, but I remember when Reaper launches, the small shot used to be to, kill the Marine. So it should be damage too.
Yes. It's not like Marine killing level. I
And that's what's
think the
on.
big shot still kills a Marine.
It
And
does,
it's ignore cover, so it's basically AP3.
but small
And you
shots.
also, the X-Arc gets quite a good gun, right? With the
Tempest
Tempest
launcher, I
launcher,
don't think
if
it's
you want.
changed. Yeah, indirect. That's the the one reason everyone was taking that unit. Well,
Yeah.
Um,
Also, the store is the extra AP on the multi-shot is still quite good. Even into Marines, because you're getting double the amount of shots, right?
Yeah, but let's think about it. You're going to have 4 guys, so
Yeah.
you're going to get one
Yeah,
wound
true.
through, and you can do 1 damage. Awesome. Now I can see you, and you're dead.
I guess. When you do the math, it checks out.
Yeah, it's just like cool. Thanks for turning up, Games Workshop. You fucking
But
idiots.
this is one of the units you were talking about that could actually hurt Terminators without too much buffing.
That's the thing. Maybe they want you to take them in units of 10 because then they can do something. Because then you're getting 10 guys. But again, they're hitting on 3s. So even if the Exarch takes that elusive, doesn't take the elusive Tempest launcher, which is the only good thing about the unit, you got 10 guys hitting on 3s, say 7 hit. You're winning on 2s, that's quite nice. So, maybe you get lucky and 6 go through. Or you don't get unlucky, I should say. They're going to be winning on force of 3, so you will kill 3.
That's without any buffs. Like, no strats, none
Yep.
of the other buffing units in the Eldar.
Yep.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not terrible. Dark Reapers have gone up 5 points in the correction. Because clearly they're broken.
I mean, in the aspects one as well, you can give them sustained and lethal.
That's if you drop their aspect. They would get 2 aspect shrines at a 10-man squad, so the aspect shrine is
Well,
worth it.
well, their auto 6 is not the best on them.
No,
Like,
well,
you could just
unless you're taking the
keep
missile
it.
launcher on the Exarch, no.
Yeah, it's so like yeah, you would use the aspects for the aspect host. I
Yep.
think that's one of their best detachments.
You're right. I was being a bit negative on them, but again,
I actually really like them in that detachment. I think they're very good in it. The reroll ones to hit and their match strat, and they're popping off at that point.
I think they are maybe killing 4 to 5 Terminators, yeah, for 200 points. That's pretty good. At range, that's quite good, yeah. There might be a
Yeah.
reason to take 10. But
I mean, even what a 5-man in a Falcon?
with the
Don't know.
rerolls to
That could be
wound,
something. I think there's some math hammer to do on these Dark Reapers that
trying to make them work.
is
I think you're
yeah.
right. If they, I don't know what they've put them up 5 points for some reason. Oh, they've only put them up 5 points for 5, so they haven't gone up for 10 points. So let's just have a look at that quick. Micro quick. There we go. Dark Reapers. We have 85 and 170. So 170 is not too bad actually. Same price as a unit of Terminators, right? 5-man
Less
Terminators.
actually.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I think
Yeah, same price.
I think it's the same.
I was thinking of my Wolf Guard, who is still 10 points more expensive.
So for okay, all right. Wait a minute. Hold on.
There's something to these Dark Reapers. I think there's only something to them in one detachment because it
Well,
gives them a lot.
I think we should. Yeah, obviously we're spending ages on these, but it's what we want to do. It's
Well,
like Codex.
we've gone through all the Phoenix Lords and all the aspect warriors. Should we go and the
Well, we
Avatar?
haven't done the
Should we
Shining
go
Spears
to?
or the Striking Scorpions. So the Shining Spears is my
Oh,
favorite new unit.
I I love their glow up. If you,
I've been waiting for them to be good. This is exactly what I wanted them to do. Give them extra
I wouldn't
strength.
go so far as to say good, but sure.
Well, they're too expensive. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
They've given the extra strength. The strength 4 was stupid. So and lance. So that helps immediately. They're going to be wounding on 2s when they charge now into Marines. AP2.
I mean, they went from doing nothing to actually something.
Yeah.
Which
It's the flat 3 damage. That's huge. And the anti-monster and anti-vehicle 3 plus with lance is just so freaking awesome.
they're very all-roundery. They can kill a lot of things. They can go into monsters. They can go into vehicles. They can go into infantry because of a lance. Like if they didn't have that lance, I'd be very worried for them, and they could be a lot cheaper if they didn't.
Mm.
They'd be more specialized as well. But
Well, I was
they're a
really
very
excited about them
all-round unit.
when I first started reading about them. I was really excited. However, I think when I started to do the maths on them
And you saw the price.
and the price,
And then you realize they're also like a marine.
yeah, well, we haven't got to the most important part, in my opinion: extreme mobility. So each time this unit makes a normal move, advance, fallback, or charge move, ignore any and all vertical distances. So that means they can go through walls, basically.
Yes.
So
And
for a unit that
but
moves
we can't
40,
go. You can still uh block them though, right? Oh no, they have
they
fly.
have fly and they ignore all vertical
Yeah.
distances. So they
So
have
yeah, they're
old
just
fly,
yeah.
which is absolutely incredible because when you consider that you can battle focus them to give them movement 16, they can move through walls. And if you're in the new detachment, we should go do that after this. I think we'll go back to the detachments after this. Um, these guys can reliably charge 20 plus inches anywhere on the
Yeah,
table.
yeah, of course. Like they already moved 16, and then what you've got?
So this is the best
It's
scalpel. If you want me to run the numbers for you on it, so they do quite reliably into chosen 26 wounds, 26
how
damage,
many guys? 3,
6.
6.
Yeah. So that doesn't kill the squad, by the way, which is a big problem because 26
Oh,
wounds
is that
is,
a 5-man squad?
well, it's 3 wounds each. So on a chosen,
So you
so
wouldn't, yeah, you wouldn't kill a 10-man squad.
you wouldn't kill a 10-man squad. You do, however, do 26 wounds into a Custodes Dreadnought, 30 into a truck, 20 into a Dreadnought, 26 into the Rhino, if you were wondering, 26 wounds into a Predator, 26 wounds into a War Dog, 3 into a Catan.
Wow, these katana just living through
Yeah,
everything.
they are. The Katana are a problem. 20 into a Vindicator on average. They are serious killers. And when you're considering that they can go anywhere you want, this is a seriously good scalpel.
Yes, but it's a 240 point unit,
Oh, it's fucking crazy expensive.
and it's just Marines.
Yeah, it's just Marines. Yeah, it's. But for me, it's the epitome of Eldar.
Like I love Shining Spears, I
I,
do,
I
but
don't
I
mean I don't
just
mean
think
from a narrative sense. I mean the epitome of Eldar for me is they go in and they definitely 150% kill that thing, and then they die if there's anything there to hit them.
problem is I don't think they do. Like if you want a scalpel unit, you want it to be a unit of 3 because a unit of 6 is actually quite big.
Yeah, well,
It's
actually,
harder to hide.
yeah, you've got to the point I think I was going to make, which was don't if you've seen the overkill on those numbers I was reading out.
Yes,
If you
and
want
we're
to,
overkilling units that are less expensive than them.
oh, like fantastically, like in some cases a third of the price. Um, I'm thinking about Rhino there, but a Predator, you're double killing a Predator. And actually, if you take 2 units of 3, it means you can get a Star Lance in. 2 Star
Yeah.
Lances, so you're getting an extra attack, you're getting an extra pip of AP.
The
So
problem with unit 3 is that it's only just killing a predator,
that's the problem.
and it could just not.
Yeah.
You kind of want to kill when you go into something. You kind of want to go like 1.5 of that some or
Mm,
1.2 or 3 of that something
hmm
to make sure you get over the line without any too much dodgy rolling.
I think
And they don't do that in any configuration. The 6 is too much, 3 is too little, and you're like, I want to take 4.
yeah, 4 would be perfect. I think you're right. It's strange actually. It's a very good point you're making about the unit sizes being a bit off. I think they're still good in threes. I think they're incredibly overkill in six. Saying that, let's have a look at the Terminator damage.
You know what? If they had an aspect shrine, it would actually be worth taking in freeze. That's all they're missing.
Mm,
Just one auto 6 for that bad roll you make.
yeah, that's a good spot. They don't have it. Mm. They also can't have an autark.
Yeah, that's huge as well, because that would actually
That would have
put
made them
them
a bit.
into that
Yeah,
zone as well, or I get before. And it would also make it
you get the free
the
CP.
minus free CP is actually big on them. You want to use CP on this unit. And if it's free, it's like on a unit of 3, you don't want to use a CP. But if it's free on a unit of 4,
Mm.
you're like, yeah, sure. But it's such a loss losing that autark
Mm.
when the unit finally got good.
Yeah, and they allowed people to, whatever, fucking. Anyway, I'm gonna try them out for the next. I'm gonna try
I
4 or 5 games, and I think I can try and see if they work. I think if you can weaken the target a little bit first, you only need threes.
yes,
But
but
um,
that's not what Eldar want
maybe,
to do.
yeah, you're right. You've got to soften them up, but by that point, usually you've committed.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, you've got the laser lancers as well, which that's a that then you're getting a little bit. It's getting a bit spicy because you're not guaranteed.
Problem is 6-inch range. You're not always going to roll a 6-inch charge.
No.
Like, sorry, you could be rolling a 6-inch charge, but your laser lance isn't in range because you're 7 inches away.
Mm, yeah.
Like,
Well, they're fast, but yeah, it's situational. I think
all
you've
the
got to
all the
stage
unit
it
could
well.
just be hiding behind a wall.
Well, I think looking at Wraith Knights, not much to cover. There's some good utility units left. There's quite a lot left to cover, which is miraculous.
Yes.
Um,
Striking scorpions, we can do them,
yeah, let's do
and then
Scorpions, and then we
do
can do another. We'll probably split the video up into two. I think that's fair, but we'll look at the detachments because I'm actually quite excited to look at those.
yeah.
Striking Scorpions. Let's go through the rules, and then you tell me where you think their role sits. So they've got Infiltrate now. Well, then they always had Infiltrate, but they've got Scout 7 and Stealth. They've got Battle Focus, of course. Mandi Blasters. Each time this unit makes a melee attack, if it charged this turn, an unmodified hit roll of 5 is a crit. War Shrine ability is the same, so you may change a hit or wound roll to a 6, and that's it in terms of abilities. In terms of their melee profile, they gained AP on their chainswords, which they didn't before. Where are we? Scorpion chainsword is 4 attacks. Hit on 3 is 4, -1, 1. So that's it, basically. That's as far as we've got. They've still got the 3+, they've got 5+ in one. What do you think, Josh?
I think this is going to be a staple in every list.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say the opposite. Part of me, I wasn't sure, but you're right. Yep,
I
Infiltrate,
mean,
Scout 7,
as soon as
incredible.
I see Infiltrate Scout 7, or Infiltrate and Scout together, it's the golden messiah of rules,
Yeah.
where you're like, oh my god, I can put them in danger and also get them out of danger.
I love it. I absolutely love it. If only you had Karandras, but even then, I just
I
love it.
didn't even think Crandus would be good in this unit because I think he would target something entirely different to him.
Mm. I think they're good into one wound chaff. Um,
Yeah.
they sometimes kill a unit of 5 Marines, actually, if you do the math.
Oh, okay. Is
Um,
that using? Yeah, but like the Scorpion Claw could use the Aspect 6 as well,
yeah, which is nice.
which is a reason you might take it over the Chain Saber.
Well, I take the claw.
No, Biting Blade.
I take the claw because it's got the damage too,
Yeah.
and the AP too. and I just think that's massive because if you are just trying to get that first turn surprise on somebody or whatever you're trying to do, yeah, okay, yeah, you've got what 16 attacks from trained swords with sustained on fives, really nice, but they're damage an AP1, so
I think you should consider the chain saber just because
I always
you're
consider the chain
crit
saber, Josh. Just
critting on fives with sustained one and it's twin linked. At that point, you're like,
well, do you know what? This is one of the units I haven't run the damage on, which
yeah,
is not
because
good.
they don't do too much
They don't. I'm
anyway.
not. They're like you said it. It's their value is in those two and actually stealth is great in
Stealth is actually huge on them because
especially
it
for
makes
three
it
points.
so like if someone doesn't commit enough, or even just it's like a predator shoots you, which you're like, oh no, it should kill me. Oh no, it's hitting on fours,
Hmm.
and then I d6 1 inch move away, and I've got a random unit in the middle of the board that's alive,
Mm.
and that is golden just to
Yeah,
have an extra unit. If you draw the right card, it saves you another unit, and then that saves you another unit, and then the whole game you're an extra unit up.
I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. And they
Also, infiltrating scout is very important for Eldar just to stop other scouts and infiltrates from running at you if they're a combat army.
yeah, I mean World Eaters, uh, just
Yeah,
just horrible matchup for Eldar.
it buys you what an extra turn and
Mm.
a half.
Yeah, they're in every list. I think tempted to get two, but then you
I think you try one and then you see if you need to.
I think one is the guaranteed. The two is the problem because you're fighting for points, and there are rangers still that still have exactly the same profile and role, in my opinion, with the reactive move baked in.
I feel bad for Rangers because like they're not a bad unit. They're just overshadowed by a lot of things.
But I think they were in every Eldar list because they are something that can sit there and reactive move and sits on an objective and doesn't try to
But
hold it with brute force, but just sits there and holds it because they can't be asked to go and dig you out.
but there's things that do that anyway, but also just do a bit of damage and are only like 20 points extra, like striking scorpions.
Well, I always use striking scorpions in the last index for holding for doing just that because they reliably killed stuff and they were 10 points more. Now they're 20 points more when I'm fighting for
Yeah,
points.
yeah, 20 points is a margin.
Yeah, I mean they're infinitely worse except for the reactive move. Um, but still, Shroud Runners. While we're here, they now turn off cover instead of lethal hits. I think that's actually really. I think turning off cover is huge because the AP is not great.
Yeah, this is mostly going to be one of your most important units that you run,
Hmm.
and it's mostly going to be a two in every list to one, two or one in every list.
I think I've got one. Two is the trick is going to be trying to keep the bastards alive. The good news is you turn off cover when you shoot your sniper rifles at something. So it used to be
Yes.
you had to be within 12 for the lethal hits, but they've decided now actually you only need to shoot with your long life rifles, and they are 36 inches. So you can really keep these boys safe.
They also have stealth. They're T4 with 3 wounds each.
Hmm.
They're not like easy to kill with damage to weapons.
No, bolters will struggle. So
And if you really just want to keep them alive, you battle focus
oh,
away.
actually
But
they've given them a 5+ save. That's pretty big.
I'm over 5 of England,
Mm. They used to
so
have
you just
four, I think.
it's, yeah. So I guess with cover, you're getting a 4 up instead of a 3 up, which is big.
Mm. Okay. Also include Vipers to suppress things, so -1 to hit against the opponent. Meh. I was,
One of the worst units in the book.
yeah,
My vote.
I wish they were good.
If they were cheap, the problem is they need to be cheap. But then, how cheap do you make a one bright lance weapon?
That can move and shoot stuff. That might get lucky.
Yeah, and can
Yeah,
do an action sometimes.
yeah. It's
Because you can't make it ranger cheap because it's a lot tougher than a ranger unit. But you can't make
the,
it like
the big difference
I
is
don't know.
you can take them in units of 1 to 2. I don't know why the fuck you would. Um, I
Yeah,
mean,
like if it was 1 to 3, you would consider it because if you want to use a CP on a unit to gain something. But 1 to 2 is like there's other units that just do a job better. Um,
we're almost there. I don't know if we should push on or we should just go. I want to go and look at the detachments for a little bit. The aspect host at the very least, because we covered those.
yeah. Should we go look at aspect host then?
Yeah, can you see that on the screen?
Hang on 1 second. Yeah,
Okay, so aspect host, path of the warrior. Each time this aspect warriors or avatars of Kain unit in your army is selected to shoot or fight, select one of the following. So you have to trigger it before. That's fair. Reroll ones to hit or reroll ones to wound. Oh Lord, why not give them full rerolls on objectives? I do not know, because you're quite happy to give it to everybody else. But anyway,
because there's a lot of sustained and lethal in this army.
yeah, there
If
is.
you, so that's why.
I know. I'm just sad inside. It's fine. It's fine. But the fact that they've lost the +1 to hit with the Phoenix Lords really hurts them when you had the reroll ones to hit. Um, it would have stopped the negative spike. Um,
Yeah, but I prefer the Phoenix Lord's abilities as now because they just do something different that you don't get in anything else in the army.
mm,
Is what characters should do as well.
yeah,
Because otherwise, what's the point of running them apart from just another unit?
they were kind of boring before, right? But yeah,
Yeah,
I get it. The enhancements, they're all keyed into autarchs for probably for obvious reasons, because all the Phoenix Lords are epic heroes and can't take enhancements. So this first one's kind of cool, and I get what they're trying to do. But Aspect of Murder, you got an Autarch, or Autarch Wayleaper, add one to the damage characteristic, and it gains precision. So when I read this initially, I thought I'm going to stick that on a Wayleaper with a blade, with the what's it called, the damage 3. Well, I'm just going to charge it at character and try and snipe them out. But actually,
yep,
that's an option. But without the lone op, it's a bit of a trick. But the Autarch leading the Banshees squad, actually, I think that's
yeah.
quite
I'd
nice as
prefer it
well.
on a Banshee blade, right?
Yeah,
You just hunt.
yeah,
Goes damage 2, damage 3 is something. So then you get 2 damage 3 weapons in Banshees.
yeah, because the Exarch gets them and he gets them. There's the Starglaive, but I just that could go to damage 4. That's the one I was thinking of. Um, but yeah, the Banshee Blade could go to damage 3. I'd have to think about it.
You would spend 15 points on this, or 10. 10 or 15 points at the end of your list if you had it.
Yeah, why? How many is it?
I don't know.
Where is it? Aspect Host, Aspect of Murder. 30 points.
Yeah,
Are they fucking high?
I'm not touching that with a barge pole.
What
I can nearly get a ranger unit for that
what the?
cost.
Are they out of their fucking minds? I mean,
Wow.
it's a nice to have. It's not a must
It's
have.
not even like there's nothing with devastating, so the precision's really iffy as well. Because you're just
Really?
going into 4 buttons.
Oh my lord. Okay, fine, cool. Mantle of Wisdom. Autarch of Wayleaper models only while the bear is leading Aspect Warriors unit. Each time it's selected to shoot or fight, you gain both. So yeah, you get the rerolls to ones to hit and to wound. Um, do you know what I thought when I read that? It's a shame they can't go in Dark Reapers a little bit.
They
Because
can.
They can they? Are you sure? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. No, they can't. Oh yeah, you can. Oh, they just don't get. Oh, sorry, they don't get any training.
Yeah, they don't get any of the training, but they can
Hmm.
go in Dark Reapers. You can go in every single aspect.
Howling Banshees would be good. Darker. It'd be good in all of them, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Banshees.
I think this is a
Okay,
must-take enhancement if you're taking any Autarch.
and it's
But
30.
you have to do it with a plan in mind.
Oh fuck me! It's 35 points.
Ooh,
Fucking
okay, maybe
hell.
not. 'Cause even
Jeez.
taking an Autarch, you're like, I'm
Uh,
spending 80 points and I'm going to use some minus CP, and then like you want to take this because you get the minus CP to do like a good strat on them, and then you also get the real hit
yeah,
ones
yeah.
and
You want
ones
to
to
keep that
wound.
Autarch cheap. You don't want to be spending money on it. Shimmerstone, Autarch, also Whale Leapers. Yeah. In the Aspect Warrior unit, each time the ranged attack, subtract 1 from the wound roll. Um, okay, yeah. It's just a defensive one. I mean,
I'm
-1 to wound's
unsure.
big. I'm not. I don't know, really, to be honest with you, where I'd put that.
I mean, you can put it in a Banshee unit to make them like their foreign ones
Yeah,
a bit better.
a bit tankier, for sure. Shimmerstone
Uh,
minus is 15, that one. Strange.
it's not. Yeah, yeah. It's the problem is that it's on an Autarch, and you're taking one Autarch, right?
Yeah.
If any. And
Well, I wonder if they've done that. I'm just thinking, if you took 2 units of warp spiders, one with like a whatever her name is, and one with the Autarch Wayleaper and with the horrible combat death. Maybe that's why they're doing it, because you don't want 2 units can run around. Oh, they can't charge after the 24-inch move though.
no,
Ugh, I don't. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway, and the last one is add 1 to the objective control. Okay, that's 10 points. Maybe, yeah.
that actually might be one of the better ones.
Yeah, I think it is, because you're like, okay, I can deny you against your battle line now, if without engaging
Yeah.
you or whatever. It's
The
good.
problem is you're taking one Autarch in this kind of list, and if one, and he gets to take one enhancement, and it's either the Mantle of Wisdom if it gets anywhere near cheap enough, or Strategic Savant. And maybe only two that I see that are anyway useful for units.
Yeah. Um, if the Shimmerstone was in combat as well, that'd be that'd be really
Yeah,
good.
it's not even in combat. I didn't even read about it.
No.
My god. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Warrior focus, Avatar Arcane or Aspect Warrior. Ignore modifiers to Ballistic Skill, Weapon Skill, Strength, Armor Penetration, Damage Characteristic, and Hit Roll. Not Wound Roll. It says quite importantly. But good. Annoying
Hmm.
for those annoying fucking units.
Yeah, it's always a good strat to have is ignore mods, because it's good when it's really good when it's good, and if it's not useful, then you just don't use a CP and no, you've lost nothing.
Good for your Dark Reapers, Josh. The 10-man Dark Reapers squad. If someone pops smoke,
I mean,
you just go like,
y-
screw
let's
you.
go right for Fire Dragons to Catan.
It does say damage characteristics, yep. Oh yeah, that'd be really nice. Although, yeah, I think it would. I don't think that spreadsheet accounts for the fact that damage is applied, the melter damage is applied after damage is halved.
Ah,
We'll see.
okay. Yeah, it seemed a little low to me.
It was. Final breath, fight on death. If you remove a shrine, it's on a 3+. Okay, it's not bad for a CP, especially when you
Yeah,
put it on a
it gets you extra mileage out of a Banshee unit or a Scorpion unit,
Avatar
right?
Arcane gets the fight and death 4+. That's pretty tasty.
That's no.
Did you just
It's
say no? No.
no, it's not tasty at all. I would spend it like you want to. You're so tight on CP and Eldar.
I
Like once you go
know,
through it,
but just imagine
uh,
when it's
like
clutch and you're just like,
if
I'm gonna try it, you know?
if it said Aspect Shrine or Avatar of Cade, you add +1.
Yeah,
I would You know, it's worth a punt if you've got like 4 CP.
You
Uh,
don't like it, do you? Okay, that's fine.
I think it's fine, just not on the avatar. I don't like it on the avatar.
This one,
If I,
Skyborn
if I
Sanctuary.
got 6 CP, I'll use it on the avatar if he's dying in combat.
Skyborn Sanctuary is my favorite, and it appears in a few detachments. It's my favorite in the Codex.
It's a totally broken stat and something you'll theme whole armies around.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfection.
You'll be using this. If you're going first, you'll use it 4 times, and if you're going second, you'll use it 3 times.
I love it, and it's the reason I'm trying to get 2 Falcons in my list.
I mean, yes, I think the Way Serpents are better than Falcons.
Do you? I think the Falcons are. The reason I'm doing it with Falcons is because I only need the 6-man capacity, and the guns on a Wave Serpent are a waste of time. Oh god, you're gonna make me go to a fucking Wave Serpent now, aren't you?
But here's the thing: 10-man aspects are actually really good with the next, not the next one. But 10-man aspects are really good. Like just having one of them to buff up with stuff is really good.
Yeah. So let's have a look at this. What does it do? Each time a ranged attack targets this model, the strength characteristic of the attack is greater than the toughness characteristic. Subtract 1 from the ruined roll, and then it's got the 5+ one. So it's got nothing special other than its transport, and it's got. It used to be useless and worthless because it had twin linked on a single shot right lance in an army that got a free reroll.
Yeah, and guess how useful and worthwhile it is now. It just rise like 200%.
So it's a little bit better than it was. I get your
I
point, but I do think in an army that lacks rerolls.
Here's the thing. One, its transport capacity is
Why?
amazing.
Oh my god, hang on. It's only got 2 OC. What the fuck? Okay, sorry, carry on.
Its transport capacity is amazing because
12, yeah.
12 is like you want to do 10-man, and you can just put 2 5-mans in it as well,
Yeah, that's.
and you save yourself on a
Mm.
Falcon. The -1 to wound, like with Warwalkers, makes it a lot tankier than it should be. I know it doesn't have the 4 of Invan like the Warwalkers used to, but it's got so many more wounds.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
best, like,
Higher toughness, higher wound count. So, what was the Warwalker before? T6 or 7? 6, I
yeah,
think. So, Las Cannons were wounding on 2s, you took it down to 3s. That was nice. Had the 4+ feel Invon, which is good. But this is, yeah. This is nothing's wounding this on 3s.
better than a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all 4s, all 5s.
Yeah.
And then it just, if they just don't kill it, it just moves.
I, I'm a convert. I get what you're saying. And I'm glad because I've got 5 of them. Because I used to run Wave Serpent spam back in the day. But
Then also, it's got a Twin Link Brown Lance, which
yeah,
kind of helps a lot.
well, it's actually now the Falcon's lost its rerolls.
It hasn't.
It
It
has.
has rerolls.
No,
Oh,
no, it
you
hasn't.
mean what? It's Twin Linked?
It's twin link. No,
Oh, you mean on the army ability, right?
yeah,
Sure.
it's lost its rerolls. So the Bright Lance, the one Bright Lance shot it has, combined with the Pulse Laser shots, it's not as reliable in shooting anymore. But the reroll wounds is pretty sweet, I would say, especially on Banshees with their anti-infantry 3+. So I didn't initially put Banshees in, to be honest with you. But the more I think about it, when I'm staging units in and out of transports and having more than one transport, they can get out, attack, charge, and get back into a different transport in a turn. I want 2 transports on the table.
Yeah, I think in Eldar you're gonna, like in my current list, I'm running 2 Wave, 1 Falcon.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I get it. And they are a lot
because
cheaper now, right? So I think Wave Serpents, the Codex were 120. So
they came down 10 points. So
I've only got 5 on here. Maybe you've seen a different one.
oh, maybe they came down 5.
They're down to 115. Yeah, they come down 5.
I think wave serpents are going to be where you try and get your primary as well.
Hmm. That's
I
why
know they're only 2 OC, but
that is a bitch.
it's they're so hard to kill at range.
Yeah, that's well spotted. That is, Josh. To be fair. But this strat, I think we're in agreement regardless, is just fucking incredible. It just keeps you in the game in an army that doesn't hit as hard as it used to, isn't as defensive as it used to be, and isn't doing the reliable damage it used to do either. So you need the ability to get the fuck out of dodge.
It just makes it so when you're facing it as an Eldar unit, you're always going to have to double up because you have to get the transport first,
Hmm.
unit inside. And to do that can actually be pretty hard across the board.
I love this. Yeah, fantastic. Doom inescapable. Basically, your avatar doesn't need fate
What
dice.
a meme.
um, Avatar K model your army that has been selected to shoot this phase. Okay, so just I thought it was I don't know why I didn't read that as shoot, and I read it as fight as well. Until the end of the phase, models Wailing Doom ranged weapon has a range of 18 and a damage characteristic of 8. So the problem with that is
Woo.
you don't know if you if you're gonna hit. You don't know if you're gonna wound, although you are hitting with
No,
twos with
you
reroll,
know
which
you're
is
gonna
fine.
hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you don't know if they're gonna save, but at least you do know it'll be
You
8.
should know beforehand. Basically, you use this again when you've got like 4, 5, 6 CP, and you're going through your CP usage for like the next 2 turns. You're like, okay, cool. I've got one floating about that I could use. Oh, inescapable doom killing a land raider could win me the game. Bam. Oh, it didn't work. Oh well. Or it did work and you just win the game.
Mm. Yeah,
But
it's weird. It's cool.
it's you're
It's a,
never gonna rely on it.
no, you
It's
don't
just
build your
there.
army around it. No way. That's fair. Uh,
And whether you run the Avatar Arcane even in this detachment
he's not
is
in
a
my
bit
list.
iffy.
I've written an aspect list, and he's not in my.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, that's a sad thing, isn't it?
But soon, he'll his time will come again.
He will drop in points, I think, again.
What, like 260 around
That's probably too cheap. Because again,
280?
you've got the movement shenanigans on it.
Yeah.
We'll see. Uh, Preternatural precision. Bloody hell, who wrote that one? Your shooting phase, aspect warriors, and your army gain. It's so convoluted this, but basically you can remove an aspect token. If you do, ignore. You can choose 2 of the following: ignore cover, all lethal hits, all sustained hits 1. Great.
This is only range weapons.
It's only ranged, yeah, of course.
And if you don't remove Accurate Shrine, you only get to pick one.
Yeah. Which
But
could be enough.
I think this is the meat and potatoes of the Skyborn Sanctuary, and this
Mm.
stratagem is where you're going to use most of your CP.
Yeah. This is the reason you take the detachment, I think.
Oh yeah, that and the detachment rule is good as well.
Yeah. Because you're looking at it and you're going, okay, well, let's be serious for a second. With the re-rolls, the chances of getting the crits increase, a small amount. Not very much. I think it's about 8% or something. But you're getting ignore cover on the. My head's going straight to Dire Avengers because I'm trying to make them good. You know, they give.
You never choose the ignore cover because you're somebody else has given you ignore cover. The Shroud
Well,
Runners.
if they're not,
Like I'm doing best case scenario. Shroud Runner gives you ignores cover.
you're the opposite to
Lycus
me.
gives you crit fives. Lethal, sustained,
I go worst to
rerolling
best.
ones.
Yeah, yeah. Lycus with this is incredible. Lethals and sustains on 5+s. Yeah. So it's, mm, it's spicy. It definitely helps your 10-man Dark Reaper blob.
Yep. And they could be hitting reroll ones and reroll wounds of one as well, if you take the Mantle of Wisdom.
Yeah. That's a big investment.
And it could be a free CP. But honestly, I think this is one of the detachments that I think is lighter on its CP use than most.
Yeah,
Because you're most likely spending 2 every turn for Skyborn and this. So you can get away with not running Eldrad in this detachment, I think.
mm,
Um,
that'll save you a lot. That's another unit,
yeah, exactly. Um,
which is
another,
this detachment needs units.
yeah, because it just needs board presence. And I don't think you run that many Phoenix Lords in it. Like you run Lycus and you run Azerman and you may run Jane's R.
I think Jinzo has to be in this for me because she benefits from she's hitting on twos, so she's benefiting massively from this. She doesn't benefit from any of these. I think they benefit from the Skyborn Sanctuary as well. You can keep her alive better, so it doesn't feel like you're wasting points on her as long as you're
Yeah.
staging correctly. Um, what else was it? What's about it really? Kane's Vengeance, opponent's movement phase. If they want to fall back, basically they have to take a Desperate Escape test.
But it's subtract 1. So it's what, ones, twos,
If they're battle
threes,
shocked,
and
if they're battle shocked, yeah.
oh, so never.
Maybe, maybe it depends if you shot them with a Death Jester, doesn't it? Or they failed, you got them down below half, or some other
I
shit.
mean, look, why is our unit fallbacking from
Yeah, I don't know.
your combat unit, right? That has not either already killed them, or I guess it's just, and then if they fall back this one man, right, that you just didn't kill to shoot at you, are you really gonna spend the CP?
Depends if it's a character.
Yeah, but demo character's not.
Or it's
Yeah,
stuff like this has come up clutch a couple of times, Josh. I've had this a few times where someone's like, all right, I'm going to fall back this rhino that you've charged to get onto that objective.
fair.
So, and you're like,
But
cool.
it's such a 50-50. It's not even in your favor.
No, it's not. No, it's a 33% chance. It's 1 to 2, it dies. But what you've got to do to your opponent is be like, okay, yeah, you can fall back onto that objective, but you've got to take a desperate escape test.
I'll
Uh,
say, spend the CP pussy and
would
do
you?
it.
Would you?
Yeah,
I'd be like, okay,
or I'll
because
just move beyond next time and be like, spend 2 CP.
but it's quite cool. It's a neat little.
Like it's niche, and
It's
but you could use it,
for
and
me.
it
It's
could be
it's
a
one that you're going to use late game when there's
late game, and it will have a big impact if it works.
yeah. It's a late game strat where there's not many pieces left on the board, where everyone's scrambling to get that extra bit of movement out to get some presence to be somewhere for engage or or extend battle lines or behind enemy lines or some other bullshit, and they just need that fucking unit to get out of the combat with that fucking unit they're in combat with, and you go, take a bastard in desperate escape test then. I dare you. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I see it now. I've been convinced a little bit, especially in late game.
Yeah.
Any other time, I'd be like, sure, here's my other unit that can do the same thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but that's not when it's yeah. Well, I can see it. I can see that one. But yeah. Oh god, you make me want to go through them all now. What we'll do is we'll do the war host because I think it's relevant to everything we've spoken about. And
Well,
then
look, in my ranking system, this is number 2 and Warhost is number 1.
war host's my number one as well. Um,
Yeah.
and simply because if we look, I think it's worth revisiting this first, just because of how it synergizes with Warhost. So you're going to get the extra 2 movement. You're going to get the no overwatch on your unit if you wish. You can move d6 plus 1 extra if you're a vehicle. You can pile in 6 or consolidate 6. You can move d6 plus 1 if the enemy unit falls back from you, or you can move d6 plus 1 if an enemy shoots at you. And sorry to go through that with you again, Josh. The reason I'm doing that is because at the start of the battle round you receive an extra battle token, so it wants you to really lean into that army rule. And then now every time you use the Swift, it's the Wind Agility Maneuvers, so that is the top one, you gain an extra movement. So you go to movement 3. So my beautiful Shining Spears are now movement 17 base. Just saying. And each time you want to use one of the other agile maneuvers that require d6, you add 1. So suddenly it becomes d6 plus 2 on all these abilities, which makes them a hell of a lot more reliable because your bases on your infantry are
I was
more than
about
an
to say
inch.
this.
Yeah, sorry, Josh.
Your bases have got bigger on, especially Phoenix Lords. They've
Hmm.
got a big glow up on base size. So they actually need, if they're on a wall, basically, they need what, a 2-inch to get over?
Hmm.
So this guarantees it with a unit in front of them now.
Hmm.
Whereas before it was what, all 1 inch, and you could do basically what you want. Now there's a bit of a risk if you don't roll that. If you're an inch off the wall and you roll a 1, you can't get past it with your Phoenix Lords, and the whole unit just dies.
Yep, it's great. Just best all round, really leaning into what the RV is about. But I think this is the closest to the old detachment in the sense that you've still got the Phoenix gem here, so 2 plus get back up. The
Which it's not as good as it appears anymore.
No, I don't like it. I wouldn't use it because
Yeah,
I don't
you've
know why.
lost all the loan up. It could go on, which was where it was at,
Hmm.
and it's just no good character that you're like, I want him to get back up.
Yep, exactly. And I don't. I assume it's fucking expensive. Let's have a look. Where is it? It's Warhost. There it is. It is. Phoenix Gem's only 10 points. So yeah, they know it.
I think specifically, I know this one went up to 35
Yeah.
in the MFN.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it has.
Oh, well, okay. So fine. No one's definitely taking it.
Yeah.
Timeless Strategist as your army model. You receive an additional Battle Force token, so that could be you could potentially get 2. So wow, okay, plenty of movement. There's probably too many at that point, but it's there as an option.
I think at some point, if they ever do nerf the number of battle focus tokens you get, this will be very good.
Mm. Gift of Foresight, command reroll for 0 CP. It's clutch on a charge, I guess. It's named, so you could do 2 command rerolls.
Yeah. Where else would you use it? You would use it on a charge, and you would use it on a save, but you're not really using it on a single character.
No, no,
Like, it depends on points on this.
yeah, yeah. And Psychic Destroyer, which I love because
Yes, same.
Uh, look, we're aligned. I promise people watching me haven't spoken about this before because I really love the Farseer combo with the Warlocks with Mind Bullets. I just think it gives you an extra bit of damage.
Um, yeah, I agree. I actually think a unit of 4 warlocks with Eldrad
Hmm.
gives you a lot of tactical flexibility in depending on what you're facing. Because a lot of your units aren't great at killing hordes, whereas that one just blows them apart
Yep. Have I got it?
because it.
I'll check if I've got it up. I've actually done the math on the warlocks 'cause they're ludicrous for 110 points. They're not broken by any stretch of the imagination.
They're very flimsy, just like everything else, and they're short range, so you get to use them once if you're not transport.
Yeah. But if I bring it up now as the damage profile, so yeah, as you said, into hordes. If I can come down here so we can actually get a better view of it. This is the warlocks combined with the Farseer, by the way. So I should probably take the Farseer out. And this is the Farseer with the extra damage as well, because I wanted to see what this was capable of. I'll just check that's true. Yeah, D3 plus 1 damage, I've got it down there. So it's
Did
doing
you not give it to the warlock?
um oh, I see. Are you taking a war hang on. Are you taking a
I'm
war
taking Eldrad, Warlock Conclave, and then you give it to the warlock.
let's have a look. Have they got the character keyword? Yeah. Huh. So you can give it to a warlock. Yeah. I get you. So you've got damage 2
And
destructor. That totally passed me by. I didn't even think of that. That's a fantastic idea, Josh.
so then you've got what a strum. Then you're cosplaying Thousand Suns,
Yeah.
just in worse in every way.
Worse, yeah, exactly, yeah. Ah. Yeah, worse than ever. The range 12 is going to kick you in the balls. I don't know if I put Eldred with them because I think they're a bit more of a disposable unit. And this is the reason I wanted to take the second Falcon, because for me they go in a Falcon, and they jump out, and they get rerolls on their Destructor, and then they get back in. So you got the flexibility.
In my head, I was putting Eldrad in there because it's either A, they sit on your home objective, generate UCP, and sometimes come out, and if anyone tries to take it home, they're going to take a punishment back. Or if you're against the right matchup for them, you put them in a transport, and then they actually do stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I.
But it's all theories and
That's a good point.
plots at this point.
So if I'm bringing it up just to see their raw power, actually what I'll do is I will edit this. So I will take the Farseer out and put Warlock. Just do this, so we can just have them as on their own. Actually, oh, I've got them on their own there. But what I'll do is I'll have this as 2, and this is D6 plus 2, and then there's only going to be 3 of them. That's going to be 7, 1, 2. It doesn't matter about that because they are torrent. I've also given them ignore cover because they don't. It's annoying that they don't have ignore cover.
It is very annoying.
So without, if I can go full rerolls and then no rerolls. So this is reroll ones in the aspect, which I don't know why I've got that in. So let's just get rid of that for a second. Have I missed something here? 7, 2, 1, 2, 1. That's fine. Okay. So the Farseer not having the extra damage. Well, we'll forget about that. That number was higher, I think, before, but it's also a lot cheaper now. So it's doing a lot. It's doing 12 into Gene Stealers, so it's killing 6 Gene Stealers. It's nearly killing 5 Marines. It's not quite killing 3 Chosen. It's killing nearly 10 Orcs. So it's got a very specific target. 6 Berserkers is nice. It's doing a fuck ton into a Dreadnought.
This is without the damage 2 on any of them. This is all damage 1, right?
No, one of the Warlocks has got damage too.
Oh, okay.
So as far as I can tell, that enhancement would only trigger on one of the Warlocks.
Yes.
So that's why I've done it that way. One of the Warlocks has got damage too. Obviously, sliding scale, the higher the toughness goes, the worse it is. So let's just do that, and then what I'll do is I'll do a side by side. So if we go here, and then I'll add Falcon reroll to it. Now, reroll is going to matter to this one because it's at that clutch point where it's strength 7. So
Yeah, it can actually just do some random wounds to a tank as well.
yeah.
Like not many, but
Oh, that's not
when he on fives rerolls, it's
reroll all.
somewhat reliable.
Still torrent. Okay, let's see. So the comparison. Does the Falcon add much? Not really. Guardsmen will ignore. Subductors will ignore. Gene stealers.
You kill a lot more gene stealers.
That's wounds. So you kill 2 more gene stealers, but you're getting close to a squad wipe.
Yeah.
Which, you know, for 110
This is about
points.
their singing spears as well, right?
This is without their shooting, yeah. Marines, a bit more comfortable there. So if you're jumping out when you want to kill that infiltrator squad or cursor squad or whatever you're trying to do, the 5-man JPI squad, you can reliably do it now. Chosen's a problem. It's not. Obviously it's not its desired target. Orc boys, there's that 30% you like. In addition, berserkers, that's beautiful. You're really neutering them. So yeah, I rate them.
Like, I rate them definitely for the like your math there is like literally the job I want them to do.
Mm.
Orcs, uh, basically anything combat, because then you got to remember you also they're such an Overwatch threat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can't deny it. So I think this plays into it. There might be even more, and I think there was another damage one.
There's a few dotted around in weird ones.
Yeah, we'll get to those again. But yeah, we've kind of inadvertently done warlocks there, which is great because I really wanted to cover that unit. Lightning fast reactions, anyway, -1 to hit if you're not a Wraith Construct. That was already there from last time. Skyborn Sanctuary, our favourite. It's there.
Oh, it's the exact same name.
It is the same strat, same name. Feigned,
Okay.
Feigned Retreat, fall back, charge, shoot, do what you like. Not advance. So you've got the tactical flexibility
Yeah,
twice.
they really didn't like giving you out advance, did they?
No,
Oh no, because you can't fall back in advance anyway.
no. Well, no,
Usually.
there was a strat that allowed you to. There is a
Oh,
strat. It said fall back, advance, charge. I'm sure it was. Mind you, it's been a long time since I played Eldar because WTC I had to play Nids. Blitzing firepower. This is the one that kind of compensates for the other one. So you don't have to have the aspect shrine. It's a shooting phase. You just get sustained. The problem is it's within 12. The good news is,
big problem.
sorry.
It's a bigger problem than I think most realize because it does limit your unit options quite a bit in this detachment.
hmm I think it's designed to try and make Dire Avengers good, and God bless them for trying, but they should have started with the
I mean, it does make Dire Avengers good
because they
in
crit
one
on fives.
configuration,
Yeah.
and that's because Azimut's great on
Oh my
fives.
god! Do you know what? We need to actually look. I've got all the damage profiles here for Dire Avengers. Where are they?
It also, it's why I think 10-man Hawks can work,
Yeah, I want to make
and
Hawks work.
so do I. But like if you think about it on bikes or on Dark Reapers, it just doesn't work because of the 12. And a lot of like there's no strats in here that really affect bikes too much. A lot of it is just infantry.
Yeah. So what I've got here is Dire Avengers on their own, 5-man squad. Dire Avengers with the Azimuth not popping his Dev Wound craziness with the rerolls to hit in the aspect shrine, just so you know. Okay, you want to see it? You sure you can handle it?
I can handle it. I already know, but I like to see it
It
just
was
written
these
out in
two.
front of me.
Sorry. So if we scroll down, so it's the top line, bar one. Let's come down come down a bit. There we go. So they can kill 10 guardsmen, so that's good to know. That's with ignore
Hell
cover,
yeah.
by the way. I think I got ignore cover on there. because I was trying to be kind. I've got sustained and lethals. Oh shit, this is popping off the old strat. This is on the aspects.
Okay.
I can take the lethals out, it's fine. But you're not going to like it. And then that's with, this is without cover, right?
Okay.
Now it's with,
I can take killing fewer guardsmen. It's not what Asmon's there
yeah,
for.
yeah, fair. They're doing alright. What I haven't shown you is point for point killed, damage versus point cost. The Warlock Conclave is very healthy. It's hovering around that. One, it means it does one. It does 1 point of damage per. Oh God, how am I going to say this now? How do I describe this? Points spent versus points killed. There we go. Got it. Got there in the end.
Okay, and it's like a 1-for-1 type deal.
Yeah. So one is good because
Yeah.
yeah, you're still alive and they're dead, and you've spent that many points. You've spent an equal amount of points to kill them as you killed, right? But you still have a unit left. Anything below one is extremely good. And then, of course, the colour scale should help you from there. Warp spiders, fire dragons, and so on. So banshees are just generally good. Not super good, but in every configuration, they are great into normal or elite infantry. They get their points back, regardless. But as we know in Eldar, it's not about that. It's you need to wipe. You can't leave
You
them
need to
alive.
wipe, and then you're trying to keep alive at the same time. You're
Yeah.
trying to trade up a little bit.
Swooping Orcs, this is with all of the pros, all of the benefits, by the way. This is the 5+ crits. They are not getting their points back. So this is, but I think this is different because they're still good, they're still green, right? But the
Yeah,
benefit they have is
it's
they don't need to be close to the opponent to do their job. So they are
well,
more likely to stay alive.
you have to be within 12 at least for
Uh,
the
oh, for the
crits
strat.
5 sustained. Yeah.
No, I'm using Lycus for the crits 5 on the
Oh,
others.
okay.
Yeah, this is without the sustained on those cases. These are all on the aspect shrine. Aspect
Oh, okay.
detachment.
Right.
Sorry. I haven't been through for the others yet. Fire dragons are just absolutely ludicrous into vehicles.
I mean, yeah.
Just incredible. Points for points. Need I say more? Warp spiders, they're just a bit. They have. For me, they're a utility unit now that can maybe kill some chaffy, screeny shit. That's kind of good.
And carry Lycus around like a fucking
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, exactly. Um, see, these numbers tell a story, don't they? You know, Dimensions do all right into their intended target, but they just don't wipe anything. That's the problem. They're incapable of wiping a unit. But that's, I guess, where Asmund comes in. You're falling back and you're doing all that shit, but they're gonna get to you quicker than you'd like. Shining spears.
You know, a lot of red and yellow.
Well, this isn't a guardsman. You know what I mean? Guardsman.
Yeah.
And, yeah. When they start getting into chosen,
Yeah, well, the damage free becomes
yeah, or vehicles, it's their happy place. So you get the idea. So I think we'll finish up with this one anyway. So the splitting firepower, fire and fade, not as good as it was, but all right.
still fine. Yeah. I wish it got the +1 from the army rule, but oh well. D6 +2 would have been great.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of.
Or just your unit moves. You know, other armies do that. It's infantry only. It's been nerfed enough, but
It's a strange
you'll still
choice.
use it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Especially with Farseers and their abilities, where you want to come out the movement phase, look at something, and say, right, everyone gets +1 to wound that, and then you go fire and fade back behind the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as that. So you are probably going to be spending that every turn if you have Eldred, and that's good because you will need Eldred.
Yeah, because in this one's very CP heavy. You're going Skyborn Sanctuary every turn. You're going Blitzing Firepower quite a few turns.
hmm
You want to Fire and Fade most probably as well. And then the last one,
Webway Tunnel, it's cool, weird but cool.
I think it's very good.
Yeah, it's uppy downy, but got a strange wholly within 9 of the battlefield edge rule for some reason. But whatever, can't argue with it.
I mean, this is why you don't need Baroth in a Hawk unit, right?
Yeah, as long as your enemy is, you know. There's a few like this though, aren't there? There's a few strats in this book.
Yeah, like you always want an uppy downy instead of not having one. They're always good. This one has a few restrictions on it, but it is restrictions you can play with.
I still think Baharoth is because like you said, the grenade is 8 inches. The deep strikes.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
problem.
that's the only problem.
That's the problem you got. Otherwise, this is a fantastic one. The other ones, I think, we'll go through them at some point, but they've got more damage output.
Yeah, but the reason I think this one's so good because it doesn't have the direct firepower that the Aspect Host has, but in 40k you're not looking to overkill your enemy. You're just looking to just do enough
hmm
and then score. And this one in Eldar, I think you just have enough, and then this helps you score so much.
Yeah, this is the one I'm going to be practicing because I think once I've nailed this detachment, I've nailed the Codex.
Yeah, this is where you're. If you can win with this, you can win with most of them.
Because it just plays into the strengths and the
Yeah,
weaknesses.
it's just what the book is about. I'm annoyed they restricted Wraith construct from this a bit. I think Wraiths would have been nice to have in this,
They've
and instead of just being in their own detachment.
Well, unfortunately, we haven't got around to talking about wraiths, have we?
No.
But it's they're just they're not as good as they were, frankly.
Of course.
So you're right. There's not really a need to restrict them as they have. I think there's a hangover. Games Workshop
Oh,
has a
definitely.
hangover.
You can see it in a lot of the restrictions.
But as a lifelong Eldar player who stopped playing Eldar in 10th because of that codex, that index, they've given me what I wanted, which was a different way to play the army from what the index was, which was just I'm taking you off the table now.
Yeah. If you love aspect warriors, units doing certain jobs
hmm
like Pacific and Phoenix Lords, and you love Harlequins, and you also like race, and everything goes in its box, and you use the detachments that should be used in, you'll love this book.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm chuffed to bits. But I don't know what you want to say about it, Josh. But I think we could call it for tonight, and then we can try and do another episode again.
Yeah, it's getting what we're getting on for like 3-ish hours.
Yeah, I think that's more than most people can stomach. And it's school night for me, but I think we've really covered it. And I'm going to have a think about what we've spoken about. Next time we speak, I think we should break down that top list for Phoenix Lords, right? And I think also consider our favourite detachments again.
That's fair.
And
Yeah,
also,
but
yeah,
there's a few like I've got. It changes every day.
yeah, I just can't wait to play this. Like
Yeah, it looks so much fun.
all my models are soon to come as well, so I'm really excited.
Same. Yeah, I spent way too much money on pre-orders.
It was not a cheap army to buy.
No, but it's here, and we'll gladly build and enjoy and not paint.
You have to make this one, Josh. I insist.
I know, I know. I should. Need to learn.
All right.
Uh,
Well,
all right.
thanks for joining me. Thanks everyone for watching.